Welcome to the Southern Vipers live stream as they take on the Northern Diamonds today at 3 p.m. It's a big clash. These two teams know each other very well, and for the Southern Vipers, all their England stars are back. Catch all the action on this live stream.
Yeah, came at the right time, I think. Obviously, our Charlotte Edwards Cup season's been a bit up and down, but it was really good to get those 2 wins on the road, and yeah, hopefully carry that on to this weekend, obviously back home, so yeah, hopefully get another win. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I just love playing, and I guess T20 cricket's a game that I really like playing. Obviously got to step up in the power play, and I like doing that. It kind of makes me switch on and focus and get in the battle, so yeah, I'm happy to keep putting in good performances, and hopefully that can carry on for the team. Yeah, loved it, absolutely loved it. It was a bit of a shock. I didn't know if I was going to get in or not, so yeah, it was a pleasant surprise, and to get a couple of games over in New Zealand was nice. I just felt in a great space with where I'm at playing cricket at the minute, so it's nice to get those rewards, but yeah, hopefully I can carry that on. Yeah, we know what threat they can be. They've obviously not had a great run as well, so I think they'll be looking to come out hard, as we know they do, put in a good performance. So yeah, they can be a dangerous team, and obviously having played with them, know a bit about them, so hopefully I can, Vipers can come out on top. I guess you could look at it like that. I think we more see it as, we won it last year, and we really want to back that up and do it again this year. Not so much the name, but obviously the trophies. We love winning trophies, so yeah, hopefully we can back that up this year. Yeah, can't wait. I'm really excited. Obviously, double header as well, which is really exciting on a Friday night. So hopefully we get a few bums on seats, and yeah, can put in 2 good performances tomorrow night.
Get a nice view of it.
Short and pull, but it's not been timed. There could be a catch here, and there is. It's been taken up at mid-on by Smale. Safe pair of hands, Sophia Smale.
In that test, as Wong comes for her second delivery, it's gone aerial, it's gone over the top of the field, and the ball should race away for the first boundary of the innings. Not being available as Wong comes in. This time it's hit beautifully over the top. And that has gone for the first 6 of the day.
That game. Ellie Anderson is into the attack. And a short ball pulled away. Work to do for the sweeper and can't get there.
This time it's swiped backwards, swept away. 4 runs to Elwes. Smell comes in. Elwes on strike. This time it's scooped up in the air and it's taken. Sophia Smell with the wicket of Elwes. Elwes departs for 9. That's a brilliant response. Smell comes in a bit shorter. It's gone leg side. It should be given a wide. As Raceway did a bit of bat get onto that. It looks like it did. Anderson to not swipes the leg side. Luff tries to stop it, goes over the top of it, and it races away for 4 more runs. I wonder how much she's told Storm. Shorter is skewed up in the air. Fielder there. Can she catch it? One bounce. One bounce boundary.
We're going to have a chat with later. She's played some Adelaide strikers. That's up and over again. Lauren Fowler watches that one go up and over. It's 4 runs. So another 4 to the total there.
He absolutely is. As Skelton comes in, not uses her feet, it swipes it out into the deep. 1 bounce for to that delivery. Not uses her feet again, and it's hit absolutely massive. It's gone for a huge 6 here at Bristol. This time, Adams does exactly the same thing, uses her feet, and it's struck.
She's having a season of her life, I suspect. Oh, up and over again. It's going towards the boundary. It's going to be 4. Another 4 runs to Charlie Knott, who's getting some great scores.
Just from several overs. Uses her feet and misses it.
Dancy, oops.
Amanda Jade Wellington with the wicket of Knott. Stumped by Nat Ray.
Got to take it when I can as Filer bangs it in. Goes down the leg side. I think we might have a lot of byes or wides here. They're going to cut that off. No, they're not going to. Whispering death from Lauren Filer.
She's trodden on them.
She's trodden on her own wickets. Well, we couldn't see that from here, could we? That's
already. Oh, going deep, trying to cut, and she has nicked it. So Charlie Dean has gone.
Filer comes in from the pavilion end. Oh, she's bowled her. Stump flying, bail flying. Filer gets Harman.
For Ellie Anderson from the Ashley Down Road end. Full delivery driven through the offside and for 4. Split the gap between short third and backward point. That's a nice shot from Alice Monaghan. A little over-pitched into the pitch and pulled behind square. Really intelligent stuff from Georgia Adams. She had time to size up where she could hit that. Wraith's 50th. Keeping dismissal for Storm. Down the ground it goes and into the hands of Long On. So Monaghan looking to repeat the dose, going big into the leg side.
That's absolutely whacked on the leg side. 4 runs.
You probably want Adams on strike.
And on strike she is, and she's hit it over the top of Luff. Did she get a finger to it? I'm not too sure. We'll see on the replay, but it races away for another boundary. Smell. In. Adams uses her feet. Again, airily. There is a fielder there, and the fielder takes it. That is the end of Georgia Adams. Brilliant from Sophia Smell. A good catch out in the deep.
Short ball, and she's nicked it. Wong's got the wicket of Southby, and the Vipers are down to their last pair at the crease. Oh, that's nasty, and there could be a run out here if Wong hits at the non-striker's end but misses. So they scramble through for the leg bye.
As Bell comes in to Knight, who plays that backwards of square. There is a fielder there, but they're not going to cut that off. There's 4 runs.
Lindsay Smith continuing use of the feet and hit in the air and caught at mid-off. That's a really good catch. It's Georgia Adams.
Lindsay Smith. Oh, it's a big shout. Oh, it's out. That's out. Oh, goodness, I was just looking at our guest then. So we've got a wicket already. The Knight wagging a bat. Plays that behind square. She's going to get runs for that. I don't think she's necessarily meaning it to go exactly there, but she knew there was a gap. I suppose in terms of producing plays for England. That's kind of, look at that, straight through that gap there. We're looking along the line of that as Heather Knight just...
Your pet show as long as we keep our wickets. Don't lose too many. Should be okay.
Yep, delivery from Dean races away.
You can play the rest of the over quite easily. Oh, there it is. And it's gone.
Called expertly from Danny Gibson here. Dean tonight. Bit more pace for practice. Got it airily. It's gone straight 1-2. 3 bounces across the rope. Another beautiful boundary.
Shot.
This time swept backwards again by Knight. Another boundary to her total.
She is loving a sweep today.
It's absolutely savage to your captain. I was going to say, tell us more.
Shot.
And that's gone for 4, of course.
Oh, lovely shot. Worked that perfectly there. Exactly what she meant to do.
And it's given Charlie Dean with a dismissal of Luff. Bell to Wellington short, hits over the top, edged backwards and will get off the mark with a boundary.
What we're doing as a team. Shot. Is that going to run away? I think it is. Yeah. All the way over the boundary for 4. Lovely little... It's not really a sweep, that. It's kind of a switch hit, but reverse hit.
Bowling to Wellington. Uses her feet and it's edged up in the air. The fielder is there and it should be taken. A bit of an ugly shot as Adams comes in tonight. Fielder coming quite close. And she finds the gap and she beats 2 fielders. The ball's racing away. There's 3 fielders chasing after it. It is slowing up, so it's not going to go away for a boundary, but they're going to come back for 3.
Good running.
Excellent running from Western Storm. And that does bring up her 50 for Western Storm. The England captain having an absolutely stellar knock here in Bristol. Just like to clarify, I was joking.
Oh, bowled. She's gone back as Holland trying to pull the ball away, and Charlie Dean has struck. Oh, she's gone 2, bowled, first ball. Charlie Dean's on a hat-trick, the second time in the match that we've seen 2 in 2. Western Storm, they'd need somebody to play a real blinder down the order. Round the corner, that one goes though, and that is what Heather Knight can do.
Gads coming in from the far end. It's up in the air. There is a fielder underneath it. She's going to catch it. Oh, it's a low... yes, it's a low catch. Great low catch from Maya Boucher there. Adams into... And the Knight comes forward, plays it up in the air. It's going towards the boundary. Is it a catch? Oh my goodness me, it's a catch. It's a running catch on the boundary. Well...
Can she do it now?
As can all those tall bowlers. Oh, that was a dancey oops. I was looking at... was that dancey oops? Oh, we're going to see that again now. Please,
people who might be listening. Last ball, and it's struck up in the air. It's going to be taken by Georgia Adams, and that is the perfect finish for the Southern Vipers. They have done it again. It is a 100% win record for the Southern Vipers against the Western Storm.
Well, welcome to the Utilita Bowl, ahead of the first game in a double header here on this Friday, this sunny Friday. Nice to be able to say that. And we are a few minutes away from getting underway this Charlotte Edwards Cup group game between the Southern Vipers and the Northern Diamonds. We're in the business end of this competition. It's match day 8 for both these sides. I had to think about that. My name's Kevin James, and next to me is the Southern Vipers off-spinner Charlotte Taylor. Charlotte, good afternoon. Do you want to give us the news of the toss?
I can. So the Diamonds, good afternoon by the way, that was rude, sorry, apologies. So I can give you the news of the toss. The Northern Diamonds won the toss and decided to bat, which we both thought was maybe a little bit strange because of the weather that's potentially coming in this afternoon and into this evening. Of course, the double header here with Hampshire playing Middlesex later on, so it's a bit of a surprising decision on my part. I don't know what you made of it, Kev.
Well, you're right. I think there's more showers forecast this afternoon than this evening, which might be good news for the Hampshire Middlesex game, as that was a huge gust of wind, which I think has blown Charlotte's tracksuit top off the table. I think we're going to get a few of those this afternoon, this evening. So good news for that. But I don't think we're going to be too bad. Hopefully. This afternoon. I said business end. We'll give you the teams in a moment. In fact, we'll do the teams first and then we'll talk about the permutations. So would you like to do Northern Diamonds?
I would love to do Northern Diamonds. One change for the Diamonds. Out is Lauren Winfield Hill, and in comes debutant for the Diamonds, Rebecca Duckworth, 23 years old, making her Diamonds debut. Did play for the Thunder previously in this competition in 2021, but they line up like this: Emma Marlowe, Holly Armitage, the captain, Stair Callis, wicketkeeper Bess Heath, Erin Burns, Leah Dobson, Catherine Fraser, Sophia Turner, of course there's 2 Turners in this squad, Sophia Turner, Katie Levick and Rachel Slater. That is your Northern Diamonds for this afternoon.
Now the Vipers have made 2 changes from the side that played the Western Storm at Bristol, and those 2 changes are Danny Wyatt, who's playing her first T20 game for the Vipers this season, and Freya Davis, the seam bowler. They are in for Alice Monaghan and Nancy Harmon. So in batting order, Danny Wyatt and Maya Bouchier. My word, what a strong opening partnership that is. Looking forward to that. They're 1 and 2. In at 3 is Charlie Knotts, who has been opening in this competition, drops down 1. 4 is Georgia Adams, the captain. 5 is Freya Kemp. 6, Charlie Dean. Number 7 is Georgia Elwis, who's also been opening this competition recently, but with the Danny Wyatt back, it's caused a shuffle in the order. Rihanna Southby, the keeper, at 8, Lindsay Smith at 9, Freya Davis at 10, and Lauren Bell at 11. A full complement of England players for the Southern Vipers.
Yeah, all 5 that are available. Of course, obviously Lindsay Smith as well, playing a little bit for England recently, so potentially 6 players all in and available for the Vipers this afternoon.
Now, the competition is reaching well, an interesting point for several teams. The Blaze have already qualified for a week tomorrow's finals. That's at Derby. There's 4 teams in finals day now. Previously it's been 3. Also qualified as the South East Stars, but then there's a bit of a bun fight going on between the Vipers, the Central Sparks and Thunder. Now, if the Vipers win today, Charlotte, are they confirmed?
No, they're not. So they have to win, as do the Central Sparks. So the Central Sparks are playing Thunder today, and they have to win as well. So the Sparks beat the Thunder. It means that the top 4, so that stands at the minute, Sparks, Vipers, Stars and Blaze will be confirmed, and they'll just pull away from the rest of the 4, the pack sort of sitting underneath them, of which the Thunder are sitting in 5th at the moment. They had a drawn game yesterday which was washed out, so that helps the Vipers today. Just need to win, and then if the Sparks can win as well, then the top 4 will be confirmed by the end of today.
Vipers have won this competition in the last 2 years. The first year of this competition back in 2021, the finals day was here, and they lost to the Northern Diamonds in the semi-final. And the Diamonds lost in the final to the South East Stars. So that's keep our fingers crossed for another finals day appearance for the Vipers. If they don't win today, they've got another 2 chances coming up. That's at the Central Sparks on Sunday. That certainly will be a
big game, yeah.
Huge. There'll be live commentary on the BBC of that one, as well as the live picture feed. And on Wednesday down at Hove, we'll be down there as well. Freya Davis is going to get proceedings underway at the top end of the ground from the pavilion end. The Vipers in their familiar orange tops. The Northern Diamonds, what is that? Sort of, it's not dark blue, is it?
No, it's sort of like a metallic-y blue, isn't it?
Metallic-y blue. So here's Freya Davies then.
It's Lauren Bell.
Oh, sorry, Lauren Bell. What am I saying? She looks like Freya Davies. That's pulled away. First delivery out in the deep. Down towards deep backward square leg. That's Charlie Knotts away to our left. No, Lauren Winfield Hill. Now, that's an interesting one, because I think whenever you think of the Northern Diamonds, you think of 1 or 2 players, and Lauren Winfield Hill is certainly one of those. She's a big player for them that's missing today.
Yeah, she is, and I can only assume it's through injury, but it's been confirmed as far as I'm aware. So if anyone knows, please do get in touch, because I'm definitely interested to see why she's unavailable for this game.
Yeah, we just got a message to say that she's not in just before the toss. It's Emma Marlowe opening up with Holly Armitage, and Marlowe to face Lauren Bell. Oh, bounce outside the off stump, plays and misses. That is a beautiful delivery. Now, Lauren Bell's only playing her 2nd game for the Vipers this season. She's had a good rest since coming back from New Zealand, and her only other game was in the previous game, the win over Western Storm at Bristol, which Heather Knight threatened to win it for the home side, but brilliant catch by Alice Monaghan on the boundary to effectively,
I think that did win them the game in the end.
Yeah, rub out the Western Storm reply. And the reward for Alice Monaghan? She's not playing today. Here comes Lauren Bell, and that's driven backward a point. This will be runs as it heads towards the boundary. Good piece of fielding from Charlie Dean. And that'll be a couple of runs for Emma Marlowe. 3 without loss then. The Diamonds having won the toss and elected to bat first. Yes, we did raise our eyebrows, didn't we? And then it was interesting, Georgia Adams, the Vipers captain, on interview after the toss, saying, do you know what, we would have bowled.
I would have bowled as well, so I'm with her on that one. Of course, the last 2 times these teams met in this competition, June 2023, Vipers won that one at Leeds, and Anya Shropsall took 4 for 18 in that game.
Bell bowls, and that's driven by Marlowe, straight, but not enough power to pierce the field at the top end of the ground. Good one-handed take there from Rihanna Southey, quickly up to the stumps. Yes, and there's been some good contests between these 2.
There have been over the years. They're definitely 2 teams that love to play against each other and always thrive in the battle between the 2 teams, which is really good to see. But yeah.
Now, the Northern Diamonds have not been great this year in this competition, which is surprising, perhaps, to some, as Lauren Bell bowls. That's a drive by Marlowe up towards mid-off, and there's no run. They've had a bit of a shocker, really. They've lost 5 out of 6.
Yeah, and only had sort of 1 win in the last 4.
Sorry, 6 out of 7, sorry.
Yeah. They played quite well in the last game against the Blaze. They were 94 for 2 after 14. Just that back half were bowled out for 146 all out. So sort of just fell away from them at the back end of that last game. But Bessie made 50, and I do recall an interview with her this week saying that when you have momentum and you're losing, same as when you have momentum when you're winning.
Bowl, first wicket. Emma Marlowe, and it may just have been an inside edge into the stumps, and a wicket in the first over. We've just been talking about how Northern Diamonds, well, they might have played okay in the last game, but their record is not particularly good, and they've started badly here. If you watch on the live picture feed, here's the replay, and she's a long way away from that drive with her front foot. Big gap between bat and pad. Bell's found it, and the Diamonds are 3 for 1.
Well, she was stood outside leg stump, which means that anything outside of off stump means you're quite far away from it to start with, and I think she was just overstretching on that occasion and wasn't able to make contact. Poor positioning from me. Maybe a little bit of fear. Lauren Bill running in at you, stand on leg stump and try and maybe, you know, use the swing of Bell and flick it onto the leg side, but anything straight and outside off stump is going to be a lot harder to access.
Yep. So the Northern Diamonds prop up the table, and they with just the 4 points with just that 1 win. and all but out of this year's competition. I think mathematically something amazing could happen, but they're all but out. So Stur Callis is the new batter. She's having a good season in this competition.
Yeah, she's 135 runs in this competition this year. Strikes at 108, so not too bad. She played a wonderful shot in the last game. I saw this on socials, up and over extra cover. Can't remember who bowled it now, Emily Arlott, and she turned around and just went, wow. You could see it on the picture feed, just wow. Lindsay Smith, the famous left arm spinner. She is famous now, I can say that.
Yeah. And formerly of
the Northern Diamonds. Bowling at a good mate, Holly Armitage, comes round the wicket to her, short and wide outside off stump, and Holly Armitage misses it. Dot ball. She doesn't normally miss out there, does Armitage? 142 runs in this competition, their leading run scorer. And it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Holly. She'll be wanting to give them a gift of a win, I assume, going into this back end of this competition. Even if they can't qualify, it'll be for pride. Short and wide again, but can only find Georgia Elwis off the back foot, does Armitage. She stood at extra cover and does the fielding. No run taken. So now it's all about momentum for the Diamonds, going back into the Rachel Hayhoe-Flint Trophy competition just before the 100. I think there's about 3 or 4 games just before the 100 starts, so we want to build momentum into that now. Forward and defence is Armitage, and thinks about setting off for a single, but Callis sends her back as between Southby Elwis and the bowler Smith, they collect the ball.
So Holly Armitage is the Diamonds' top scorer in this competition this season with 142. Make that 143 with the 1 run today.
Reverse sweep paddle from Armitage off a straight delivery from Smith. It runs away from Freya Kemp, who does the fielding in the end. Lauren Bell with her, throws the ball back in. They collect 2 to the total. 5 for 1 now, the Diamonds. Good little shot that. Would have played a lot against each other and with each other over the years. These two obviously great friends, so it'll be a good battle between Smith and Armitage. Just a little field change. So Freya Kent hops round a few paces to her left for a really backward point position now. Off the back foot again is Armitage and slaps it straight to Elwis again at extra cover. Good over this from Smith, only 2 from it so far.
So she's 27 today, is that right, Holly Armitage?
She may well be.
Yeah.
Also Emily Windsor's birthday today, not playing today, but is also 27 today. Round the wicket again from Smith, and Armitage tries to make some room. It was on the stumps and can only play it back to the bowler. 5 for 1 after 2, the Northern Diamonds here at the Utilita Bowl.
So we've had news, haven't we, about the women's one-day international squad against New Zealand.
We have.
And Lauren Bell, Maya Boucher, Charlie Dean and Danny Wyatt of the Vipers are all in that. No Northern Diamonds players.
No Bess Heath. So with Tammy Beaumont in the squad, that sort of reserve keeper for Amy Jones position, it's a little bit null and void, but gives a good opportunity to play those few Rachel Hayhoe-Flint Trophy competition fixtures just before the 100, like I said, at the back end of this month and into the beginning of July.
It's going to be Lauren Bell to Stur Callis at the start of the 3rd over here. Diamonds winning the toss, electing to bat first, are 5 for 1. They prop up the table, do the Diamonds in this competition, as Lauren Bell comes in and bowls, and Callis is beaten outside the off stump. That looked a beauty of a delivery. She's tall, is Lauren Bell. She does get bounced. I think the batters are used to her angling and slanting the ball in, and when it holds its line as that did, they get in a bit of a pickle outside off stump. Good delivery.
Was. Wanted to see whether it just hit the seam and dragged away from it.
As I say, only Lauren Bell's 2nd game since returning from New Zealand back in April. I think they came back, didn't they? She's had a nice easy summer so far. That's wide outside the off stump, and Callis can't reach it, and the umpire, Ben Peverell, at that far end, doesn't signal wide. I'm surprised.
So am I. Thought it was outside of those guidelines that you can see marked on the wicket if you're watching the live picture feed.
Yeah.
Outside those blue lines.
Maybe Callis just took a little bit of a movement away on the leg side.
Yeah, I was just wondering whether she's batting on leg stump.
Yeah. It looked very wide the way she was trying to reach for it. There is a slip in, that's Georgia Adams, 5 for 1. As Bell comes in again, Callis works that away. Nice shot through mid-wicket, runs here. Boucher's running after it. She won't get there. And in fact, nobody will get there because that's gone for 4. That's beautifully timed.
It's a lovely shot, wasn't it? Balance and poise. She wasn't batting on leg stump at all. She was batting on middle and off, if anything, and just leant on that through the leg side. It was beautiful timing to beat Boucher, and then just kept running. And nor Freya Davis, nor Maya Boucher, or Charlie Knott at deep backward square, none of them could catch up with it. Lovely controlled shot. Won't see many better than that today, or maybe we will.
Well,
that's the best so far.
From entertainment purposes, it'd be nice to see a few more shots like that. That came straight out of the middle of the bat. 9 for 1 Diamonds. Here's Bell. Callis is on the back foot, almost plays it onto her stumps. Ball bounces away, and Rihanna Southby, as ever, quickly up from behind the stumps. Callis playing for the Netherlands during the winter in the T20 World Cup qualifiers.
I thought you said T12.
Oh, no, T12. There isn't a T12.
No.
There's a T10.
Yeah, T10 and T20.
There is no. Perhaps I've just invented a new competition. Perhaps I should go.
You might get trumped by the T13.
Well, this is it. That's all the T12 and a half or whatever. Perhaps I should get it copyrighted before it's.
Just in case.
Yeah. Bell in the bright sunshine here at the Utilita Bowls, and it's pulled away, hammered away through mid-wicket by Stur Callis. So she hasn't quite timed that one, but it's still going for 4. There's a few school children around actually away to our left. How funny was that on the board when they were announcing the Vipers team? And they had their normal stock photos when each name is announced, but
yeah, your sort of media day, the ones that you'd want everyone to see, looking your best, prim, proper, makeup on, and then a lovely drawing by a local school child with some interesting sort of views on how players really look. A bit of an eye-opening experience for everyone. Very enjoyable though. It
was very funny. 13 for 1 then, last ball of the 3rd. Callis drives just wide of Lindsay Smith in the covers for a single. Smith misfields and they'll come back for 2.
Yeah, very rare that you'd see Smith misfield, usually very good in the field, as are the Vipers in general, put great pride on their fielding. 15 for 1 at the end of the 3rd.
10 off that. Yeah, it's very fun, and even though she isn't playing, Charlotte Taylor has also got a drawing.
Yeah, mine looks like, how would I describe mine for the viewers? It's more like Vera Duckworth than it is of me, I would say.
Does it make you look about 20 years, 30 years older?
It does.
With a big earring?
Yeah, with one big earring. One big droopy earring.
Which you never had on at the time.
No. And nor have I ever, and nor will I ever in the future. But other than that, it was bang on. Yeah. Looks exactly like me. The glasses, perfect.
Whoever it was that was drawing you just decided that they thought you should have one big earring.
As a statement piece.
Yes.
Fair enough. Smith then again round the wicket to Armitage, who's again trying to make room for herself and can't get it past George Adams at mid-off. There is no run. She's trying to open up the offside as Armitage, but the difficulty with Smith is she just keeps left arm spinner that doesn't turn it away from you, but just keeps angling the ball back in, so it is dangerous when you try and make room for yourself. But she's driving this time and not with any timing, and Charlie Knott does the fielding at mid-wicket. Another dot. Good pressure from Smith. Does this so well in the power play, doesn't she? Put pressure on the batters. And again, past umpire Rose Davies, driving his Armitage over the top of Adams. That's a good looking shot. That'll be 4 over mid-off. That'll relieve the pressure from Armitage. Just 3 from 9 before that. So she's feeling a little bit, the birthday girl. 19 for 1 now, the Northern Diamonds. Just lofted it, didn't she?
Brilliant shot. It was in the slot though to go, wasn't it? She committed to the shot right out of the middle of the bat. Never in doubt.
Stand and deliver type stuff from the captain Armitage. She has been the Diamonds' most prolific run scorer in this competition and in the Rachel Hayhoe as well, so she's got big pressure on her shoulders today to find a score for her team. And she's on the back foot this time, slaps it over long on. Maya Boucher can't get anywhere near it. It's 4 more.
It's too short, that one. She's quite strong, isn't she, Armitage? It's way too short, that. She had the pick of the spots on the next side.
She did. And she just slapped it over long on, swung her arms through the ball. Great strike. She's now out to a runner ball. Armitage 11 from 11. Callis is with her on 10. They're building some momentum in the middle of this power play. The Diamonds. Again, only 2 fielders outside the inner circle. Again, making room on the offside, and a back foot cut shot from Armitage out to Charlie Dean, who's on the deep cover boundary, gets the throw back in to Southby. One more to the total. Armitage moves to 12. Vipers 24 for 1. Field change for Callis. Deep cover comes up. Long on goes back.
I don't think Smith's going to have another over. I think Georgia Adams usually whisks a bowler out, don't they, if they've gone for a few runs.
Smith in again to Callis for the first time, and very good delivery on the stumps. Can't do much about that. Just a defensive shot from Callis, sends it back to the bowler. It's the end of the 4th. 4 overs gone in this power play. 24 for 1, the Diamonds.
Yeah, it's actually been a good couple of overs for the Diamonds. 10 off Bell's over, and now 9 off Lindsay Smith's. And we were talking earlier, weren't we, about, you know, on paper it's a powerful batting lineup of the Diamonds, but it just has not worked. There's no Winfield Hill anyway today, which we've mentioned, but Holly Armitage and Callis and Bess Heath, Erin Burns as well, the overseas player. It should be a better lineup than what they've shown this year.
Yeah,
to be bottom of the table with that lineup.
And it's just a shame for them they haven't built any momentum. As I said earlier, I think there was a interview with Bess Heath that said when you lose momentum, you keep losing games, it becomes a bit of a habit, and you find you find ways of losing games that you should have won, sorry. So, and that's the same when you're winning, you find games of winning games that maybe you shouldn't. So it works both ways, and I think they're just in a little bit of a hole at the minute, but a win here would do them a world of good to try and build momentum back, and obviously upset some of the teams above them.
So Lauren Bell is being replaced by Freya Davis, right arm pace bowler for right arm pace bowler, and she's in from the pavilion end, and it's pushed into the ground by Armitage. Straight delivery, it just goes back up the pitch, and there is no run. Freya Davis playing in her first season with the Vipers this year. How would you sum up her contributions? Because she was brought in because the Vipers are a little bit light, aren't they, Charlotte, on the seam bowling stakes?
Yeah, they are a little bit, and Freya Davies and Lauren Bell working together is obviously a very strong, but they might be looking to recruit next year.
Gives herself a little bit of room there. Armitage works that away on the onside, goes out towards deep square leg where Charlie Knott comes in. She almost like a dark-haired version of Emily Windsor out there in the deep, Charlie Knott. Both long-haired, ponytail at the back of their cap and sort of running in and
in the similar positions.
Yeah,
they would field.
They do. 25 for 1 then, the Diamonds. Armitage has 13 from 14. Callis is 10 from 7. The one wicket that has fallen, Emma Marlowe, went for 2, bowled by Lauren Bell. Here's Freya Davis then, right arm over, comes in again, and Callis gets wrapped on the pad, and there is no run. It is a beautiful day. I was down in Cardiff yesterday for the, well, what should have been the T20 game against Glamorgan, and it was literally full, low, dark cloud, and it rained for something like 4.5 of the 4 hours 35 minutes I was there. It was horrendous. This is just a breath of fresh air as Davis bowls, worked on the onside. Oh, they're both in the middle of the pitch. Rihanna Southby takes the stumps off. They're going to get away with this. Callis goes up the bowler's end, and she's in. Well, you cannot believe that. Both batters were down at one end. Boucher through to the keeper's end. Both batters somehow managed to get behind the line. And then by the time Rihanna Southby had gathered it, Callis was running up the other end, and she beat the throw. And they've got away with that. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't believe that either. I'm just wondering whether, well, Boucher should have maybe looked up before she threw it, rather than just throwing it back to the keeper. I'm not sure I heard an awful big shout for bowler's end. But that's the end that they should have thrown it. Maybe Southby should have shouted a bit louder, not to me. Don't throw it to me.
Here's Davies again, worked away through that mid onside again, this time by Armitage. She moves on to 14, 27 for 1.
Yeah, massive mix-up between the two batters out there in the middle. But luckily for the Diamonds, they do get away with it, because these two, this is the partnership for the Diamonds. These two have been the leading run scorers in this competition for this side, between the two of them. So this is the partnership that they need to try and extend for as long as possible.
Here's Davies bowls. Callis on the back foot works that away. There is a fielder in the deep on the offside. That's Danny Wyatt, who got married last week.
She
I
did.
see. Yes.
Yeah, she got married to a long-term partner, Georgie. I think it was a small little ceremony in London. I think there's a bigger party coming.
All the Vipers invited?
I don't think so.
No?
I think it's a bigger family type event incoming. One over left of the power play here though. At a sunny Utilita Bowl. Please come down if you're in and around the surrounding areas. The ground in West End. You'll hear it before you see it, I think. The music's pumping here. One over left of the power play. It will be bowled by England's off spinner Charlie Dean.
Well, she played the last game, didn't she?
She did.
Charlie Dean. The England players haven't been playing a lot for the Vipers. In fact, she's played the last 2 against Thunder and Western Storm. 4 wickets in those 2 matches in total.
And she's into Callis, who's trying to cut on the back foot. Again, makes room for herself and goes through to wicketkeeper Rihanna Southby. A couple of times they've tried the cut shot this afternoon of the Diamonds and not found any of their pieces of wood in their hand. Dean into Callis straighter this time and just worked off the pads as Callis is running away from Bell to deep mid wicket, deep backward square, sorry. And they're going to come back for the third. Armitage, good running. Throw comes in. Lauren Bell not with the strongest throw in the Vipers team. 3 more runs to the total, 31 for 1. Good running on this occasion.
I was going to say, apart from that one mix-up in the last over, they are actually running quite quickly between the wickets.
They still ran quickly between the wickets, and even in the mix-up, to get away with it.
Amazing.
Don't see that very often. Bell just comes a little bit wider. Short fine. Dean in again, then to Armitage, who's slapping that one back off the back foot, straight back to Dean in a follow-through. Another dot ball, just 3 runs from the over so far. This is the last over of the power play. It's not got away from the Vipers just yet. Defending is Armitage on the front foot this time. Back to the bowler Dean. That's a good ball. Not a lot you can do with that one.
She has great control, doesn't she, Charlie Dean?
And she's got better actually over the years as well with her level of control. She's in again, tight to the stumps. Armitage just tries to work that into the onside, but Charlie Knott is there at mid-wicket. Goes straight to her.
Very good changes of pace. Just throws the ball up there, almost inviting a drive, but then the ball just drops. Have to be very careful. Still only 23, Charlie Dean.
Oh, she's really mastering her craft, isn't she? 2 points come in now. Mid-wicket is out, and that's exactly where that ball goes. Up to long on from Armitage. That's a good over from Dean. Her first goes for 4. The end of the power play. Northern Diamonds, they're 32 for 1.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be too disappointed with that. The Diamonds should have been 2 down. I don't think I've seen too many situations where batters have ended up at one end together and still got away with getting a run. You won't see that very often, but somehow they managed it. I think I need to see a replay of that again at some point, because it's just amazing how they got away with that. Both in the middle, stopped. Both ran to the same end.
Stopped.
Stopped. And then
Turned
Callis
around.
decided that she would. She actually did about 1.5 runs for that single. One of the hardest earned singles she's probably ever had.
There we go. Nice little crowd in today, lots of school children being here us around the ground. Welcome. It's lovely to have you here. And if you're watching on the live picture feed, you should see the sun gleaming down off that tent above the Rod Bransgrove Pavilion. It's always a nice sight when it does that. As long as it doesn't reflect in my eyes, then it's fine.
Yeah, fortunately it's okay. You don't want to look at it for too long, do you?
No. But it does, I think, reflect onto the pitch, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Gives it a good glow inside the bowl.
32 for 1 then. Freya Davies is just manoeuvring the field a little bit like she likes to. Likes to have control, Freya Davies. First over went for 4, keeper standing up, and there's a nice little paddle sweep shot by Armitage, and that's going quickly down to fine leg for 4 runs.
They
That
got into
wasn't
position
really a
early.
sweep, really, was it? It was
Just lifted it, didn't she?
more upright, yeah. More upright than a sweep. The way she played the shot, not the way the ball went.
Yeah, just lifts it over what would have been a fine leg if there was one in place. Goes very, very fine. A ramp shot off Freya Davies. Picks up 4. Building momentum now are the Diamonds.
They are. with a few of the Diamonds, a few with the Vipers in the winter, with the England A squad in New Zealand. She actually did play one of the senior games, didn't she, for England, Holly Armitage? The third T20 against New Zealand.
Yeah, she debuted as a concussion replacement for Sarah Glenn.
Ah, that's what it was. Davies in again, pulled away by Armitage out toward Charlie Knott at deep square leg, who picks it up cleanly. 37 for 1, and Armitage moves on to 20.
Yeah, so Sarah Glenn was in the field, and I think she dived for a ball and hit her head on the floor and was ruled out for concussion. And obviously the concussion replacement rule means that you can have another player come in, and that player was Holly Armitage. So she debuted almost like halfway through the game, which is probably quite rare. She was given her cap by Lindsay Smith, so that's quite fitting, isn't it?
Oh, okay. That's the beauty about having an England A team around with you, isn't it? Travelling around, you can call an immediate replacement with little fuss. 37 for 1. Davies bowling to Stuart Callis, who's on 15 currently. Callis works that good length delivery just in front of square on the offside. Good calling that time between the two. Freya Kemp coming in, but it's slightly to her right, and she is a left-handed thrower. So that's really good running. 38 for 1. Crowd is building slowly but steadily. There's been quite a few school children in earlier. They are mainly away to our left, about deep mid-wicket. Quite a few rows of them there.
It's lovely to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Davies bowls, giving herself some room again there is Armitage. Doesn't time that as the ball trickles up to Lindsay Smith at mid-wicket.
Yeah, she's not afraid to expose the stumps, is she, Armitage? You heard that? She probably did. I don't know how you'd miss it if you're listening to us. The sort of hooray from around the ground.
Well, she tried to play the same shot and she's done it, and I think she's going to get 4 more, and she is. Fielded down here. Is that Charlie Knott? Has been placed a little finer, but still couldn't reach it. I tell you, she misses that. She's LBW.
Yep, she definitely is, but she's backing herself to make contact, and she's done it twice and been successful both times. So when you're in form as well as Armitage is, you have more confidence to play those types of shots. You can almost get away with it. The fielder is coming finer once more, so a genuine fine leg in now rather than a long leg. It's Charlie Knott down just below us. Will she play it once more?
42 for 1, last ball of the 7th. Armitage cuts that away on the back foot out towards deep cover. Danny Wyatt in the action once more, away to our right on the west side of the ground as we look, and that is the end of the over. 7 overs gone then, and the Diamonds, having won the toss and elected to bat first, are 43 for 1. Good start.
Yeah, it has been, hasn't it? They've built momentum nicely, and this partnership is growing, ever more growing.
40 they put on after that early wicket of Emma Marlowe, giving herself a little bit too much room to Lauren Bell. 2 of 5 balls she made. We've got another change of bowling, or no, we've still got Charlie Dean on.
Yeah, still Dean from the hotel end. Of course, this time she's bowling outside of the power play. So 4 fielders outside of the inner ring of 25 yards. Lindsay Smith out of deep cover. You've got 3 on the leg side, deep backward square, deep mid wicket, and a long on. Armitage uses her feet and finds long on. 1 more taken. Maya Boucher down there collects the ball. 26 to Armitage now, 44 for 1 the Diamonds. Uses her feet nicely. Callis then on strike to Dean. Tries to make some room on the offside, is successful, gets it through backward point. Lindsay Smith races round to her left. She is left-handed and does well to stop the ball. And 2 more are collected. A round of applause from the crowd as she does a good bit of fielding out on the deep point boundary. 2 more to the total, 46 for 1.
Yeah, that could have quite easily gone for 4. 2 runs saved that.
He goes to her favoured left-hand side, which I think aided her on that occasion. Dean in again, very tight to the stumps and lofting over the top, down to long on. Maya Boucher won't get there. Don't know if it's gone all the way for 6 or whether it's just dropped in front of the rope. It will be a boundary nonetheless. Good shot by Callis. Just waiting for confirmation from umpire Rose Dovey, who's waiting, asking Boucher, I think, whether it went for 4 or 6.
Boucher was flat down on the dig.
I'm not sure she realised that she's being asked. The umpires are now going to get together. I don't think Boucher is saying, I don't know what happened. She was nose deep in the dirt.
She's saying 4.
4. Umpire Rose Dovey now signals 4 runs. Good shot from Callis. They used her feet well, lofted it straight down the ground, and went 2 straight for Boucher. 50 for 1. Callis moves to 22. Shorter this time on the back foot as Callis slaps that one out to deep square. They're going to pick up 2. No. Freya Davies does well to come round and in off the rope. It's quite a long boundary out there to keep it to 1. One more to the total. Now it says 47 for 1. I don't know if they've put that 4 on. Yeah, 51 for 1. It's confirmed. On the back foot this time, again short from Dean. And slapped out to Danny Wyatt at deep mid-wicket. 1 more to her total. She moves to 31. No, she doesn't. The scoreboard's just updated. They put that 4 that Callis hit, they put it onto Armitage. Here we go. Armitage 27. Callis 23. Diamonds 52 for 1. Get that confirmed. Short again from Dean, and on the back foot, on the hip of Callis, they'll collect 1 as the ball goes to Freya Davies at deep backward square, and it'll be 1 only. So at the end of the 8th, the Diamonds, another 10 off that over. Good over for them, 53 for 1.
50 partnership as well between these two, which has come quite quickly off 42 deliveries. They're in good stride here, in good form, good rhythm. And the Vipers are paying the price really for not getting that, or not taking advantage of that run-out opportunity a few overs ago. We're keeping an eye on the Central Sparks Lancashire Thunder Charlotte Edwards Cup game as well, because depending on the result here and depending on the result in that, the Vipers can actually qualify with 2 games to go. Central Sparks and the Thunder are fighting out a position as well. Thunder, that's at Edgbaston, that game. Thunder are 34 for 2 in the 8th against the Sparks.
Okay.
Keep you updated on that one, because it's a very important afternoon. It could confirm another place. Already the Blaze and the Stars have qualified. Driving is Callis. Start of a new over from Lindsay Smith, who switched ends with her left arm spin. I say left arm spin, really. It's more left arm drift, isn't
Yeah.
it? I think
Left arm dart?
Darts. Well, actually, when she bowls it a bit quicker, it's darts. But it's always angled in, isn't it? And that's where she tucks a lot of players up. 54 for 1 then. Armitage back on strike. She's 27 from 26. We're at the start of the 9th over here. Match day 8 out of 10 for both these sides as Armitage drives up to mid-off. She'll pick up a single, moves on to 28. And the Diamonds are 55 for 1. The sunshine is just about out. It's been very bright for the early part of the Diamonds innings. It's just a few clouds are starting to come over and just blocking it out in some parts of the ground. Callis drives up towards mid-on. They are playing well, these two.
Yeah, they're seeing it nicely, aren't they?
Yeah, they're scoring off most deliveries now. Every ball of Charlie Dean's previous over, there was at least 1 run off. And the first 3 balls of Lindsay Smith's over are 3 singles. So in good rhythm, these two. They've put on 53 for the 2nd wicket so far. Smith bowls, Armitage drives. Smith, I thought, might have stopped that with a dive, but the ball goes under a body up to deep mid-on. 57 for 1.
Yeah, they're playing straight, aren't they?
They're playing very nicely indeed. They actually, apart from that one mix-up between the wickets, they've actually not put a foot wrong batting-wise. Here's Smith bowls. Oh, there's a slight mistake there from Callis, driving thick inside edge, goes out square on the leg side. She was trying to hit that straighter. 58 for 1. Callis is 27 off 20. Armitage is 29 off 28. Good partnership between these two. At the moment, Vipers don't have an answer. Looks a good pitch, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Charlotte, this will be the pitch that the men play on later on. Hampshire against Middlesex in the T20 Blast. Double header day today. Worked on the onside by Armitage. Runs the first one quickly. Won't be 2 there. Boucher's too quick in the outfield. And that's the end of Smith's over. A single off every single ball, which means 6 were scored. And the Diamonds are 59 for 1 at the end of the 9th.
Where would you look to go from here then, Kev? So this partnership keeps extending. I reckon they could get up to the 170 from here, if not more. But the worry for me is that as soon as these two get out, then the Diamonds have been known to fall apart a little bit. They've got Bess Heath to come, who did make 50 in the last game against the Blaze, but in that game, they did get to a point where they were 94 for 2 after 14, going brilliantly, and then crumbled to 146 all out. So that's the worry for the Diamonds, I think. But the longer these two stay together, they will get up to that 170, 180 mark with ease, I would think.
It's always the way, isn't it, really? You know, when you're batting as well as these two are, you think, well, OK, let's just up it a bit more. And then that's when the mistake comes. That's when they get out. And then you're right. It's having people to back it up. And so often we see that. Their top score this season, this 146 all out in that game against the Blaze. That's the highest they've scored this season.
Charlie Knott then to replace Charlie Dean. Charlie for Charlie. And driving was Armitage up to long on. They come back for a second as Maya Boucher runs round to her left. The ball was just lofted over Charlie Knott in her follow through and safely win to safety. 61 for 1, 2 off the first ball of Knott's over. She's been the highest wicket taker for the Vipers this year. 13 wickets at 13. All the 13s. She's in again. Off the back foot is Armitage. Gives room for herself and tries to split the two fielders on the leg side, but not Danny Wyatt. She'll come round to her right and do the fielding. Bit of a poor throw back into the middle of the wicket, but only costs, well, doesn't cost them anything. Only concedes 1. 62 for 1. Callis 27. Armitage 33.
I did see a picture of Danny Wyatt's wedding, actually. It looked like it was in London somewhere.
Yeah, it was in Chelsea.
In Chelsea.
Lovely. Good day for it. Both look stunning. Her and Georgie. Down the leg side from Knott, and it's going to beat Davies. Or is it? No, she's come round quickly to her right. Good fielding. 2 more to the total. She runs round from deep backward square to long leg. Beats Lauren Bell to the ball. Cuts off a second. That's good fielding. 64 for 1.
Yeah. From a Vipers point of view, this is a worrying partnership. These two are playing so well. Good for the Diamonds.
Brilliant for the Diamonds. Knott needs to break through here, as she so often does. Off the back foot again is Callis. Tries to pierce the field on the offside. All those fielders are up on the offside, other than long off. It's a ring of fielders from extra cover, which is the captain George Adams. Lindsay Smith at cover for a Kemp at point. Off the back foot again, a short delivery from Knott and pulled into the leg side by Stair. Callis finds Danny Wyatt at deep mid wicket. Another single. 65 for 1. 1 delivery left. This first over from Knott's considered 6. Could do with a wicket, the Vipers. Break this partnership. 30 for Callis and 33 for Armitage, who waits for Knott now. Short again from Knott and pulling into the leg side. No real timing, Armitage, and Freya Davies comes in off the rope to do the fielding. 1 more to the total. 7 off Knott's first. 66 for 1 at the halfway stage. 10 overs gone.
Well, 9 wickets in hand, 2 players going well. You would think that at this stage they're set up for a good total, but as we know with T20 cricket, it doesn't always follow that the second set of 10 overs is anything like the first 10. So
I think if I was the coach of the Northern Diamonds, I'd be disappointed from here if they didn't get up to that 170 mark.
it's tough going though.
I would still be disappointed if they didn't do it.
Yeah.
I think T20 cricket on a good pitch, quick outfield, a good base, but the minute wickets start to fall, that's when it becomes a problem. But from here, these two established players, I'd be saying, right, let's get up to 170 if we can.
Warm round of applause for Georgia Adams, the captain, coming on. She's got a bit of a golden arm.
She has done over the last couple of years, hasn't she?
She has. So 63 partnership now, unbroken, between Callis and Armitage. And Armitage on 34 off 32 will face Georgia Adams. Comes down the wicket, chips that away into the gap between mid-wicket and bowler. Up towards mid-on, and Armitage moves on to 35. 67 for 1 then, the Diamonds, into the second half of their innings here. Double header day here at the Utilita. So far, no showers of rain.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
We want those rain showers to stay away.
We do not, and it's been predominantly sunny actually, although it's a bit windy, a bit blowy. but it's been predominantly sunshine for the first 10 overs. As Adams bowls to Callis. Callis gives herself some room, cuts that away on the offside, finds the gap, chase. As that will be just about picked up inside the rope. Is that Freya Davies?
It is.
Throws the ball in. Played the last of her T20 internationals almost a year ago for England. Freya Davies, last July against Australia. The last of her 26 T20 international. 69 for 1 then the Diamonds. Callis back on strike. Just gets a length ball, can't find an angle. Plays it out on the offside. One or two of the male players now beginning to make their way back from the nets away to our left around the boundary's edge with their huge kit bags.
I was going to say, the kit bags are bigger than them.
They look like they're here for a month. As Callis drives in the air back to Adams, and that's a soft dismissal, and that's the second wicket down. Callis goes for 32. I'm not sure what she was trying to do there, but the ball just looped back to Adams, and that's the second wicket down. 32 off 26 deliveries with 3 fours for Stir Callis, and the Diamonds 69 for 2.
I didn't really know what happened there. I thought maybe it was a bump ball because there was no real celebration from Adams, there was no real cheer from the crowd. It was just a simple caught and bowled, almost catching practice for the Vipers captain. And this partnership that was going so nicely has been broken. Stir Callis goes for 32. And I think you're right, Kev, it was soft. I think she'd be disappointed to be dismissed for that. New batter for the Diamonds. The overseas from Sydney, formerly played her cricket in Tasmania, Erin Burns. Experienced Erin Burns, 32 years of age I think she is. I think her partner and son are here over from Australia as well, which is lovely. Have the family over, supporting. She's got an experienced head on her shoulders. Has been known to be a bit of a thorn in the Vipers' side in the past when she's played for Sparks last year and now the Diamonds this year. Scored runs, a few runs, good 30 against the against the Vipers in the 50 over stuff here a month or so ago.
Is it me? I can't remember.
It is you.
That's Burns off the mark straight away up towards mid-off. That's 70 for 2. Yes, she played 7 matches for the Central Sparks in this competition, including, I remember, at Edgbaston last year against the Vipers. So that partnership was worth 66 between Callis and Armitage, and that came in 10 overs. Field changing around because, of course, oh no, sorry, it's Erin Burns facing there, isn't it? Oh no, this is Armitage. What am I talking about? The scoreboard just confused me there a little bit. So steps away and slaps it away on the offside for Holly Armitage, who moves on to 36 and will keep the strike. 11 overs gone, 9 to do then. Here at the Utilita Bowl with the Diamonds on 71 for 2, and Golden Arm's done it again. 1 wicket in her first over and conceded just the 5 runs.
Yeah, that's what the Vipers needed, so desperately needed to break that partnership. And she so often does it. Captain George Adams. People say to me, why is she so hard to hit? And I think she just bowls at the stumps, which sounds really obvious. And yes, we should all, young cricketers out there, aim to hit the stumps as much as you possibly can, but it means that you've got to do something different to score runs. You've got to take the ball off of the stumps or move your position in front of the stumps to score, and it becomes a bit more risky, and players, you know, if they're new to the crease or even if they've been in for a while, they struggle to do that ball after ball. She challenges you every ball. Change your bowling. Charlie for Charlie again. Dean is back. Uses her feet, Armitage, and works that square of the wicket on the leg side, and will pick up 1 as Freya Davies comes in from the boundary and throws the ball back in poorly to wicketkeeper Rihanna Southby as it bounces in front of her. 1 more to the total. 72 for 2. Dean and Adams just having a bit of a conflab about field placements, I assume. For Erin Burns, new batter Erin Burns. Ringfield on the offside other than long off in position. Drifted onto her pads a little bit there, does Dean, and Burns presses forward and Southby comes out from behind the stumps to collect the ball, but can't stop the single. 73 for 2. You can hear a plane going right round overhead. Can't see it though, can just hear it above us, and we're a bit sheltered here up in the camera gantry of the hotel. On the back foot, cutting Armitage out to Lindsay Smith on the deep cover boundary. She's like a whippet out there, runs around to her right, a non-favoured right hand side. Gets the throw back in nicely to the bowler, one more to the total. Just keep ticking it over to the Diamonds. It's good for them, even though they've lost a wicket, they need to still find ways to score. Uses her feet to Burns, and again works it square of the wicket on the leg side. Bell does the fielding at square leg. Another one to the total. It's important though, isn't it, when you lose a wicket that you don't get into a pit of not scoring.
Either not lose another wicket straight away, which then the momentum completely falls away, or, as you say, take too long
to get back going again.
To keep the momentum somewhere near where it was. I think it's difficult to pick it up the same because they were going along very nicely.
Good length ball by Dean. Armitage works it square of the wicket. They're coming back for two. She's got to be quick. I don't think she's going to make it. The throw is poor. Goes over the head of Southby. It's poor from Davies. I thought they were going to be run out by a long while then. Burns wanted two straight away, and Armitage was hesitant coming back to the wicketkeeper's end. Striking end. Picks up two nonetheless. I don't think we're going to see a replay on the live picture feed. Armitage moves to 40. Slow off the bat. Dean in again, driving as Armitage drives it hard, but only to George Adams at extra cover. No run taken. Again, runs scored off every single ball of that over. Dean, she's through 3 overs for 19 so far. Diamond 77 for 2 after 12.
Well, interesting enough, Holly Armitage involved in that as well. Horrendous.
I think it was her call though.
Yeah.
I mean, the ball went out to deep backward square, and throw came in, would always probably come into her end. And Burns sort of called her through straight away and was halfway up the pitch before she'd even turned, really. And I thought Armitage would have been run out by a long way, but the throw was 2 metres over the head of Southby. He's not the tallest, don't get me wrong, but
from that distance, it was actually a horrendous throw.
Yeah, because she'd come in a good maybe 10 metres, 10 or 12 metres off of the boundary. Just needed to throw it into the pitch and bounce nicely for Southby to take him off, but 2 missed run-out opportunities for the Vipers this afternoon, one would argue.
Yeah, first one was costly. Lauren Bell back into the attack, 1 for 13 from 2 overs for the England tall blonde seamer. So she's going to be bowling to Erin Burns, the overseas player for the Northern Diamonds. She comes in. Lauren Bell bowls, and Burns gets struck on the pad as the ball goes out square on the leg side. Holly Armitage was racing through for that one. She was almost ready to take a second. Had Burns even been looking, which she wasn't. 78 for 2 then, and we are into the 13th over now of this Charlotte Edwards Cup group match. Match day 8 for both these sides, 10 in total. Finals day a week on Saturday at Derby.
It's fast approaching, isn't it?
There's some quick competition, this one, as that's hit away by Armitage in the air. This should be out. Oh, it's fallen just short of mid-off. Well, it went up in the air, a real clubbed shot, which was nowhere near out of the middle of the bat, and somehow the ball has just looped to short mid-off.
I don't know how she's got away with that, Armitage. Birthday luck, shall we call it?
Yeah.
It was really got a bit big on her, and she tried to, like you say, club it into the leg side, and got big on her, and landed about a metre or so short of George Adams in the end, running in from mid-off.
Comes in the game then and bowls, and that's worked away on the onside. That'll be a single to Armitage. I think the scoreboard's a little bit behind again. We'll try and not take too much notice of that.
A little bit of scoreboard stress.
It's all over the place. Armitage is on 41 from 40 deliveries, but Burns will face the next delivery from Lauren Bell. 79 for 2, halfway through the 13th here. Northern Diamonds winning the toss, electing to bat first, which was slightly surprising with showers forecast. Oh, she's edged that through to the keeper, and that's a great diving catch by Rhianna Southby down the leg side. What a catch that was. And Burns has to go. She tried to scoop that away, got the slightest of deflections, but You're going to do well to get past Rihanna Southby these days. Burns goes for 2.
Yeah, clung onto it well, didn't she, down the leg side. Went reverse hands and clung onto it well. And Burns, who has been known to be a bit of a thorn in the side of the Vipers, has been dismissed early for 2. 79 for 3 now. A couple of wickets falling quickly for the Diamonds. Bess Heath, the new batter, made 50 in the last game against the Blaze. She'll be wanting to work with her captain now in these last sort of 7 overs after this one. The Diamonds to build a score.
Played with Brisbane Heat with Charlie Knott in the Women's Big Bash during the winter, did Bess Heath. Wonder if she'll get to face her. Will she be in the middle long enough? Charlie Knott's only had a 1 over so far for 7. The Vipers have used 6 bowlers and they won't all bowl out. Lauren Bell has picked up her 2nd wicket of the innings. So Bess Heath, 22 years of age. Bell runs away, or runs towards us and bowls, and Heath works that up to mid-on, straight to the fielder. Horrible throw, poor Rihanna Southby.
They haven't been very good, these throws, have they?
Who's that up there at mid-on?
That looks like Charlie Dean.
Yeah. Hasn't even signalled to say sorry. It's almost as if, well, you're the keeper. You get to it. 79 for 3. Southby did quite well even to get her fingertips on it. There's Bell then, bowls to Heath, and Heath pulls that away on the leg side. Nice shot, that's going for 4. 2 fielders away on the leg side, but that's travelling too quickly. They've got quite short, haven't they, today, the Vipers, on the whole?
Yeah, that was definitely too short, and on the legs of Heath, just need to swivel on it. Made connection, it was always going to be 4 as it was running away from Charlie Knott. 83 for 3 after 13. Now the Diamonds still in a good position.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they on paper they do have a good top order, even without Lauren Winfield-Hill, who's not playing today. They've all got good pedigree, haven't they? You know, Bess Heath, you know, playing the England T20s. Played recently against New Zealand back in March. You know, they've all, you know, they've all got good credentials, and you just wonder why it is that they're propping up the bottom of the table.
I'm not sure I can answer that one for you.
Well, I'm not sure they can.
Smith then into a final over. Reverse paddle from Armitage, gets bat on it. It runs away from Kemp. Bell and Kemp together do the fielding. 2 more to the total as it goes to the vacant 3rd region. 85 for 3. Armitage moves on to 43.
Just played that shot well. She's played that 2 or 3 times now, hasn't she? You think, oh, she misses that, she's gone. But she's got a good bat on it every time.
Surprised that Smith's bowling out so early here, but they're trying to get Armitage out, one feels. She uses her feet, does Armitage. Works it leg side up to long on. Maya Boucher there does the fielding. Another 1 to the total. She moves to 44, 86 for 3.
It is a good total, but I think one thing we can say is this is a very good wicket. It looks good. It's coming on nicely to the batters. So this is not a good total, but you do feel that if 1 or 2 of the Vipers batters get in, then the total could move forward quite rapidly, as it has done for the Diamonds.
Smith in again round the wicket, as she often does, into the pads of the batters. Outside off stump on this occasion though, and Bess Heath drives square of the wicket out to deep cover, where Charlie Dean does the fielding. 1 more to the total. Heath's off to a good start, 5 from 3. Armitage with her on 44. On the back foot is Armitage, pulls nicely into the leg side off the back foot. Up to long on, another 1 to the total. 88 for 3. Still lots of noise from the Vipers team out there. You can hear them encouraging each other, spurring each other on, trying to get another 1 or 2 wickets to stem these flow of runs. Get the captain out, they'll be saying. Stuck on the back foot. It's gone through Elwes at cover. That's poor fielding. It's gone straight through it. They'll collect 2 more as Dean runs round to her right to do the fielding.
Not like
90
Georgia
for 3.
always, is it?
Yeah, very rare.
Especially on the square as well. That's the best bet to be fielding on. Can't get any truer than that.
It was hit hard, but just went underneath the last ball of Lindsay Smith's spell. And that's a dot to finish. Or is it a dot to finish? It's come off the bat of Armitage. It was Heath that played it back up towards the bowler, and it just hit the outside of Holly Armitage's bat, and she turned down the single, sorry. Bessie's just indicated, please next time move out the way, and we might have got one. But 90 for 3 at the end of 14, Armitage 45, Heath on 7. Lindsay Smith's bowled her allocation. 4 overs, none for 22.
Economical as ever, Lindsay Smith.
No, 24, sorry, none for 24.
Yeah, there was 7 off that.
Sorry.
Yeah, 7 off that over. Unusual not to get a wicket in there somewhere, Lindsay Smith, against her former team.
Rarity.
Yeah. Was at the Vipers, went to the Northern Diamonds for a little while, and was back at the Vipers.
Yeah, it was with the Vipers in the KSL.
Yeah.
Moved up north. But it's based in Oxfordshire. That's where she lives, where she's played a lot of county cricket. I remember playing against her. She used to be left arm seamer back when we played county cricket a long, long time ago. Firmly gave that up, as I did as well. Enough of that. Don't grow anymore between the two of us.
So we've got Charlie Dean switching ends with her off spin. 3 overs, none for 19. So this will be a final over. Comes in and bowls, and that's driven out on the onside by Armitage. Looks quite comfortable out there. Lindsay Smith doing the fielding duties up there at deep mid-on. Far into the ground as we look, the pavilion end. 91 for 3, the Diamonds at the start of the 15th over, having won the toss and elected to bat first. Emma Marlowe for 2 out in the first over, bowled by Lauren Bell. Then a partnership of 66 between Stir Callis and Armitage was ended with a very soft caught and bowled by Georgia Adams in her first over. Callis out for 32, and then Erin Burns brilliantly caught by Rihanna Southby down the leg side. As Dean bowls, and that's a nice drive, but looks like Danny White's being replaced out at deep cover temporarily by Freya Davies. Is that Freya Davies?
Yeah, it is.
It is, yeah. I think it looks like her hair's grown a little bit longer since the last time I've seen her. 92 for 3. Armitage on 46. Facing the next delivery from Charlie Dean. Comes in and bowls, and Armitage works on the onside. Always a single, and Dean's running away to mid-wicket to field off her own bowling. Always does that, Charlie Dean. Always enthusiastic. Always loves to do a bit of fielding, whether she's bowling or just standing around. 93 for 3. Bess Heath back on strike. She's got 8.
Now Danny White goes back to deep cover.
Yes.
They just got some people in the wrong positions, maybe.
Dean bowls, and it's nicely worked on the onside by Heath. Holly Armitage runs the first one quickly. She'll be running to the danger end, but Smith's in equally as quickly from mid-on. 94 for 3. There's not really any turn out there, is it? It's a very true wicket.
It looks flat, doesn't it?
It does.
Good to bat on.
Not really seen any seam movement. We're not seeing any swing. We've not seen any turn. It just looks a very, very good wicket. Dean comes into Armitage on 47. Armitage drives in the air, but safe. Lindsay Smith coming round from mid-on and can't quite stop it going over the rope. And that's a 50 for Holly Armitage. 51 she moves on to.
Yeah, she's batted well, hasn't she? Second in this competition this year. 51 from 46 deliveries.
Super innings.
Striking at 110, which is slightly above average for her. She's batted well, hasn't she? She's needed to for her team. Happy birthday, Holly Armitage. Here's 50.
Yeah, good birthday present that. Back on strike to Charlie Dean, and Armitage works that away on the onside. Boucher comes in from deep mid-wicket, keeps it down to a single. 99 for 3 at the end of that over. 15 gone, 5 to do. I'd like to be able to say that Holly Armitage should have been run out very early on in her innings, but I mean, you could take your pick whether it was Armitage or Stir Callis that could have gone, really, but neither went.
But equally, Armitage could have been run out later on. That throw in from Freya Davies, and the ball went out square, coming back for the second. The throw was better, or even remotely better, really. Anywhere near the stump, she would have been gone by a bat's length, I would have thought. Don't even think the dive would have saved her. So a couple of chances to dismiss Holly Armitage, refused by the Vipers. Going spin again to try and get her out. This is obviously the way they're going to try and do it. Adams to continue from the hotel end as Armitage tries to use her feet and works it square of the wicket. Comes down the pitch. Thinks about a run, was sent back and dropped her bat in the process. A dot ball at the end of all that was the result. Good work from Southby coming out from behind the stumps quickly to deny the single. Keep the pressure on. Armitage waits for Adams then with that slingy action, low arm. Works it off the back foot into the leg side to the right of Boucher, who's quick to the ball and keeps it to 1. They thought about 2. That's 100 up for the Diamonds in the 16th.
Well, they should get the top score of the season, shouldn't they? 146 in the last game against the Blaze, 146 all out. You'd think.
If they win the game, it could really disrupt things above them. Even off thrown benefit down the leg side, that'd be called a wide by umpire Rose Dovey. 1 more to the total, of course, for that. 101 for 3. Yeah, if they were to win today and beat the Vipers, that would really upset things further up the table. The ripple effect. Sweeping in front of square, a long way in front of square, does Heath. Danny Wyatt does the fielding at deep mid-wicket. Another one to the Diamonds total, 102 for 3.
Yeah, just to repeat, we're keeping an eye on this game, obviously, and the Central Sparks Thunder game, because if Central Sparks and the Vipers win, they get the last 2 places.
They do. Armitage uses her feet, drives all the way along the floor up to Charlie Knott at long off. Throw comes in, 1 more to the total.
Thunder are 100 for 3 in the 15th over, or after 15 overs against the Sparks. That's at Edgbaston.
Okay, so they're in a good position as well.
Yeah, Thunder have a chance qualifying.
The reverse sweep from Armitage. He gets a bit of glove on it. And balloons out on the offside. They do get a single in the end. It's a risky shot if she misses it. She was exposing all 3 stumps in the process. That was Heath, sorry, not Armitage. Opting for the reverse sweep. Adams in again, this time to Armitage. 54 not out, the captain on the back foot. Finds Charlie Knott at long off. Trying to access the offside with a cut shot, but hits it 2 straight in the end. 105 for 3. We're through 16 overs here at the Utilita Bowl. We've got 4 to do. I said 170, they're not going to get there. But they like to get above their best score of the competition. 146 was it, Kevin, the last game?
Yeah, last game against the Blaze, yeah, Headingley.
So they'll be wanting to get past that if they can, but the Vipers still got a hold on the game a little bit, haven't they, in the last few overs or so, taking a couple of wickets and stemming the flow of runs. Not been many boundaries, have there, which is sort of what takes games of cricket away from you, or takes innings away from you and gets you into those big scores, the boundaries.
9
There's not
fours.
been many of them, yeah, there's not
9
been
fours,
many.
no 6s. Mind, the big boundaries, I mean, these are the boundaries that the guys will use later tonight, but yeah, it's not a lot, is it, when they've only lost 3 wickets and we're 3/4 of the way, more than 3/4 of the way through the innings. So Holly Armitage with 55 from 51, and Charlie Knott switching ends. Her first over cost just 7. Comes in and bowls. Armitage comes down the wicket and works that up to mid-on, where Lindsay Smith should pick it up cleanly, and does. Keeps the batters down to a single. 106 for 3 at the start of the 17th over. They're going to get a good total. I would say 130, 140 maybe, somewhere around there. Depends on the wickets.
Definitely something to bowl at, isn't it?
It is. As Not with her spin comes in and misses the pull shot there, does Bess Heath. She's normally a player that does get on with it. She's faced 10 balls for her 11. Both these batters are striking over 100, which is good going. If you get both going over 100 at the same innings. Goes for the reverse sweep there, Heath, and gets hold of it. Backward a point. Danny Wyatt comes round and dives, does really well. Just stops the ball going over the rope. Heath runs 2. Gets a good round of applause there. Danny Wyatt.
Yeah, brilliant bit of fielding, wasn't it? She's a good fielder, especially in the deep. Quick to the ball. And stopped an almost certain boundary. It's a save 2 for her team.
She does a lot of that for England as well, doesn't she? Boundary fielding.
Whip it.
108 for 3. Another reverse sweep there from Heath. Only goes as far as Kemp on the 45, who underarms it back to Charlie Knott. As if to say, yeah, I'll take the single then. I'll give you that.
I think she was quite happy, wasn't she?
I would go as far as to say this is Freya Kemp's wicket.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think we might see some
Fireworks.
Oh, I think
Some
we do.
Freya fireworks.
I'd hope so. She keeps threatening, doesn't she? I know she's got a half century this year already, but when she's in for any length of time, there is no hanging around. It's not.
Be interesting to see what the Vipers do with the last few overs. They've got 2 from Davies, 2 from Adams.
Not Bowles. Swung away on the leg side by Holly Armitage. Goes out to deep backward square leg. Out there is Charlie Dean.
1 from Lauren Bell as well. So they're going to go seam, are they going to stick with spin?
Bit of mixture, do you think, Lauren Bell?
Maybe their slower balls, back of the hand slower balls, quite effective at the death.
Yeah, 2 for
Got
18.
2 wickets so far, yeah.
2 for 18 from 3, Lauren Bell. She's got to bowl another one actually somewhere. Last ball of Charlie Knott's over. It's full and it's swept out on the leg side. She almost fell over as she did so, Bess Eve. And she's fallen over at the far end, turning for a 2. So there you go.
Need new spikes.
Yeah. She said, well, I didn't fall over when I played the shot, so what I'll do is I'll go up the other end and then I'll fall over. End of the over. 3 overs to do here with the Diamonds on 111 for 3.
1-1-1 for 3. Don't they say Nelson? They stand on one leg now, is that what you say?
Yeah, that's what you do, yeah.
If you're a Diamonds fan, you don't want them to... No, what is it? It would be if you're in the Diamonds camp, you want to stand on one leg until they get off of 1-1-1.
Something like that, yeah. I never really took any notice of all that.
Well, neither have I really until just now.
I know, lots of people used to say it. Mind you, you're sitting on
I'm sad.
a heap of towels.
I wasn't going to mention it actually.
But I have.
Well, if anyone's heard me here before complaining about the viewing point that I've got up here, if you're a bit shorter, if you stand, you can't see. I'll come back to it in just a second. Adams in, the music's still playing, and sweeping is Heath. Freya Davies does the fielding at deep square leg, collects 1 more to the total. So usually I can't see when I stand up above this table. Well, it's not above, I can see above the table. Let's get our facts straight. I'm not that short. But there's some railings in front of us, some back mesh right up here at the top of the camera gantry, and I can usually not see over it when I'm sat down on this very high stool. So I've sat on some towels today so I can see over the top of it as Adams is in again, and Armitage uses her feet, works it square of the wicket, backward a square, comes back for 2, turns well, and will make the second as Freya Davies does the fielding. 2 more to the total. I think that'll be 114 when the scoreboard catches up for 3. So yeah, I'm sat on a little... I hope no one in the Hilton, or the other hotel chains are available, of course, but if the hotel below us aren't listening to this and realise where all their towels have gone, I'm currently sat on them. As Holly Armitage works that up to long on, uses her feet nicely and strikes it well. 1 more to the total. I did say if I didn't come back from my towel stealing run that I have been arrested and that you probably need to do the commentary by yourself for the rest of the evening, so sorry about that, but I made it back safely. A switch hit, changes her feet, does Heath, and hits it nicely past long off. That's a good shot. I love that switch hit when they change their feet round and slap it. The bravery and the confidence to turn into a left-handed batter, and I think she was trying to get it more over extra cover, which would then be her mid-wicket as she turns into a left-handed batter. Gets a bit straighter than that, but still gets 4. Good shot. Moves Heath on to 20. 119 for 3. She's gone again, switches her feet. It's a full toss. It's ballooned up in the air. Elvis is running backwards. Turns for 2. Will get 2. So that inventive shot has gained Bess Heath 6 more to her total and done good things for the Diamonds score. 121 for 3.
I've not seen her play that shot before. I've seen her play a few times in Diamonds games here.
She's not going to do it again. She moves across the crease to the offside this time and cuts it square of the wicket. Charlie Dean out there just keeps it to 1. That's a good over for the Diamonds. How many was off that one? 6,
11.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11 from it. 122 for 3. 2 to go here. Heath on 23 now. Armitage with her on 60. It's a good little finish for the Diamonds.
43 these two have put on now, so some good partnerships. Callis and Armitage put on 66 for the second in 10 overs. And this partnership has been going just 5 overs for that 43. So Freya Davies is going to bowl the penultimate over, the right arm seamer. She's bowled 2 overs, none for 15. So one would assume Lauren Bell, do you think, will bowl the last over from this end, although she's bowled all her overs from the pavilion end?
You would think so, but maybe they will save one for Adams or not. Adams has bowled the last over in the past. Track record.
Adams has
surprised.
bowled, yeah, Adams bowled 3 overs, 1
No,
for
this is Bell.
22.
This is Bell bowling
oh, it
now.
is Bell. Oh, right, tell her.
There we go. That answers your question.
Yeah, that does. They look very similar from a distance. As she comes in, low full toss, and it's slapped out on the leg side to Boucher at deep mid wicket by Heath. She moves on to 24 from 18. Holly Armitage back on strike, who's been there since the start, 60 or 55. And there are 11 balls left of the Diamonds innings, having won the toss. At the moment, you'd say it's not a bad toss to have won, although at the time we thought showers batting first, but those showers have, well, they don't look like forming at the moment. Armitage strikes that away up towards deep mid on. Lindsay Smith picks that up cleanly. Armitage moves on to 61, 124 for 3. 2 balls of the 19th gone.
Bit of a full toss there from Bell, but got away with it. Armitage really could have hit it anywhere. When you're 61 not out, you probably think you could have hit it anywhere, but I think it was a bit of a slower ball from Bell.
Bess Heath back on strike. 24 from 18, playing well. As Bell bowls, that's another low full toss, smacked out of the ground. Well, not out of the ground, but over the top. Oh, and it's gone through the hands of Boucher, although that was very difficult. She was trying to stand almost on the rope, turn away from the sun as well, as much as anything, and also trying to get herself balanced where her hands were outside the actual playing area.
Yeah, she got herself in a bit of a pickle with it. She was running backwards. There's big boundaries out here. She's probably stood 2 or 3 metres off of them, more to cut the 2 off than to stop the boundary, but it was hit out the meat of Bess Heath's bat and
It's a big hit.
unsettled her on the boundary.
First 6 of the Diamonds innings. Heath works that only back to the bowler, trying to give herself some room. Oh, Bell followed her somewhat.
Yeah, those ones are so difficult out there because, like you say, running backwards, then trying to stop yourself from going over the rope, then you've got to take the catch, but with the momentum trying to keep you back inside the rope. And yeah, I think she got herself in a little bit of a pickle.
Yeah.
But she's one of England's best fielders and one of the Vipers' best as well. So if it was going to be caught by anyone, Maya Boucher was the one.
130 for 3, 2 balls left of the 19th. Bell comes in and Heath smashes that away on the leg side. Oh, it's gone up in the air actually. It's got a top edge. Southby, oh, she couldn't quite take it. I think actually in the end Southby just looked at Holly Armitage, who was running down towards her. She just took her eye off it a fraction.
Yeah, well, I was looking. So they should have. I was looking actually out at deep mid wicket because that's where I thought the ball was gone. I didn't realise it had gone straight back up in the air, and Southby was just trying to avoid running into Armitage. And
yeah, and that fraction of a moment she took her eye off it. That was it.
Yeah,
she was too far away. So 131 for 3 then. Armitage back on strike. She's on 61. Yeah, I thought Rhiannon Southby would look at that different and say I should have got that because that ball went up in the air for a while, quite a while, but once you take your eye off it as the ball's coming down at you, you lose valuable fractions of a second in which to get yourself in a good position to take the catch. 131 for 3 then. Here's Bell to Armitage, and a slower ball, and Armitage finds the gap between keeper and short fine leg, and that's running away for 4. She's played some reverse sweeps, she's played some sweeps that have gone very fine. There's a fine sweep, and she's always found a gap. It's a birthday today, and she's certainly played. I won't say she's played like she's had a birthday because she's played much better than that, but it's uncanny, isn't it? How you can play that well, and she's played very well today, no doubt about that. 19 gone, 135 for 3.
1 over to go. Heath providing great support for her as well, taking all the pressure off of her, scoring really freely, hitting the ball cleanly, other than that last one that ballooned straight up. She's hit the ball brilliantly since she's come to the crease and provided real support for her captain. 1 over to go. If they get 12 from it, they'll get their highest score of this competition so far.
Yeah.
They've gone for spin in the last. So Bell finishes 2 for 31 off her 4. She bowled well this afternoon. Charlie not to finish then from the hotel end. Bowls to Heath, who's across her stumps, and a big appeal from the Vipers as it hits the pads of Heath. That leg bye is called, but I think it was outside the line of off stump. Just concedes 1. Good result for the Vipers. 5 balls to go. 136 for 3. Armitage on strike then. 5 balls left of the Diamonds innings. What can they do? Momentum into the break is important, of course. Chooses her feet. Gets it high on the bat. Up to long on. She completes a single. Frustrated with herself that she couldn't find a boundary. 66 not out. Holly Armitage. Bess Heath with her, 31 not out for her. 4 balls remaining. Goes across her stumps again. Tries to get that one over the infield. Lindsay Smith running back, takes the catch at cover. And that's the end of Bess Heath. I just said about momentum going into the break is important for the team that's batting. And it's equally as important to stop it and get your own momentum as the bowling team. And that's what the Vipers have done with that wicket. It's the end of Bess Heath. Falls for 31. 137 for 4. Good partnership between those two.
I make it 58, that partnership.
It was a good one. 58 off not many deliveries. As she was caught by Smith off the bowling of Charlie Knott, who gets another one. She's now got 14 wickets in this competition. So a brilliant signing for the Vipers this season, especially in this competition. It'll be interesting to see what she does with the bat later. She's in form with the willow in her hand as well, but she's got the breakthrough here. Brings Leah Dobson to the crease, who can hit a long ball. She's got 3 opportunities to do that. She's got to face Knott now. He's into Dobson, and her job now is just to get on Holly Armitage on strike, I was going to say. And it's going to be some overthrows as Knott does the fielding off her own bowling. Tries to go for the run out, throws it quite wide of Southby, well, very wide of Southby, and concedes 4 overthrows. So a ball that maybe should have just been 1, conceded the single, has now conceded 5. So a little bonus for the Diamonds. Umpire Rose Davey just confirming with the scorers. The 4 overthrows conceded by Knott. 142 for 4. A little bonus for the Northern Diamonds. Poor from the Vipers. Another run-out opportunity missed. Sweeping hard into the leg side is Armitage. She's coming back for the second. She's a little bit slow, but she'll get there. Good throw this time from Davies. 2 more to the total. 144 for 4. 2 balls left. They will, I think, get their highest score of this competition after that.
I think they will, yeah. They'll certainly.
An expensive last.
1 ball left, haven't they? To get 2 to equal it.
It's conceded 7, 8, 9, and the wicket so far. Armitage uses her feet. Good stop on the return from Charlie Knott. Sticks her left hand out. I think it's hurt her a little bit, but she'll get 1 more. And that's the end of the Diamonds innings. 145 for 4 from where they were. Where were they? Halfway, 66 for 1. And to be 145 for 4, well, they weren't bowled out, of course, which they have been in the past. And the Vipers, I think, might be slightly the happier going into it. Good wicket. I think I'd be happy chasing, well, it's not be happy chasing anything, really. It'd be lovely to chase 0, but, you know, quite comfortable chasing 145 for 4. Good contributions all the way down the order. Holly Armitage finishes 69 not out on her birthday. Good support from Bess Heath, 31, and Callis at the start, 32. And for the Vipers bowlers, 4 overs for Lauren Bell, 2 wickets for her, and 1 wicket for Georgia Adams and Charlie Knott. The rest of the bowlers were wicketless. Good economy bowling again from Lindsay Smith. And Charlie did, well, I say a little bit expensive, none for 28 off her 4. But 146 will be what the Vipers need to win this game and to give themselves the best possible chance of getting through in one of those top 4 spots, Kev.
That's for sure. Yeah, join us in a few minutes' time. Myself, Kevin James and Charlotte Taylor will bring you live commentary of the reply from the Southern Vipers. But I think you're right. I think it could have been more. There's no doubt about that. When you've got batters that get in, you probably think that the Diamonds could have got a few more. But it is their 2nd top scorer of the season, and I think they'll be pretty confident about that. Join us again in a few minutes.
Welcome back to the Utilita Bowl this afternoon. The Diamonds, they batted first. They won the toss and chose to bat first here this afternoon. They made 145 for 3 off of their 20 overs. So the Southern Vipers will need 146 to win this one. I'm Charlotte Taylor here, BBC Solent. You can watch us on the stream, hear us online and on the app. Next to me is the famous, the lovely, the wonderful Kevin James. Yeah, I'm talking to you now, looking the opposite direction.
I thought you were talking about somebody who was behind me, just crept up behind me. It's a good total, it is. 145 for 4, there's no doubt about that, and the Vipers will have to bat well. But we do get the feeling, don't we, that it actually could have been more, because Holly Armitage batted through for 69 not out. You had Stir Callis batting well for 32 and Bess Heath for 31. There was good partnerships, 66 for the second Armitage Callis, 58 for the fourth Armitage and Bess Heath. I don't know, I still think there was another 15 runs in there somewhere, 20 runs maybe.
I do, and I think if these two get going, Wyatt and Boucher, then it could be a bit of a measly total indeed, but you never know. They've got a good bowling lineup. Spin's the key for them. The two key bowlers for me, Katie Levick and Erin Burns, off spin and leg spin alike. They've been doing most of the damage for the Diamonds, but it'll be Rachel Slater to start proceedings from the hotel end. She'll be bowling to Maya Boucher, who waits. Bat raised then, Slater to Boucher, and we're underway here in the second innings. She's off the back foot and drives to find Stair Callis at mid-off, no run taken. Bess Heath with the gloves on today, no Lauren Winfield Hill. She's done it a few times actually, Bess Heath, in this competition. They sort of swapped and changed it around.
Only Maya Boucher's second game this season in this competition, and her only innings in the last game against the Western Storm, she got 0.
She can only go up from here. And down the leg side is Slater. I think she feels that might have hit Boucher's pad, but a wide is called nonetheless, and Heath does well. Goes low to her left to stop it going for any more than just one. So the Vipers are underway, 1 for 0.
Rachel Slater will be playing for Scotland in the Women's T20 World Cup later this. When is it? Later this summer?
Yeah, it's in Bangladesh in September, I think it is. Not sure on the exact dates. She's into Boucher again, who's driving to mid-off. Stair Callis there again. Stair Callis batted well earlier on, made 32 for the Diamonds. For their 145, they look up and about, the Diamonds. They look very positive out there.
She's one of 2 players in this Northern Diamonds side that we're playing for Scotland. Catherine Fraser is the other one.
And both done well since coming into this Diamond side as well. And that's Boucher bowled. She's missed everything. And I said it could only go up from here. It's actually just stayed the same. Boucher again goes for 0, tries to flick that off her pads and gone straight through it, hits leg stump. And it's not a good start from the Vipers at all. 1 for 1 here as Boucher falls for another duck, second in a row. It's not very often you see that from Maya Boucher.
No, and that's a massive blow, isn't it? Because with each of the big players that come and go, then that total gets a little more. You do feel the Vipers have enough in their armoury to chase down this total. But when big players like Maya Boucher go for no score, that total suddenly becomes a lot more.
Yeah.
Charlie Knott comes in. What a find she's been. What a selection she's been as an overseas player for the Vipers.
Yeah, she's definitely their highest run scorer at the minute, 179. Well, she's actually just behind George Elwes, but she's definitely been their most aggressive, has won games of cricket for them in the power play. 179 runs at 25, striking at 118. So she'll be looking to get the Vipers off to another good start. She tends to do that, gets them off to a good start. But she's just going to have to dig them out of a small hole first.
Are the England players available to the Vipers literally Sunday and next Wednesday?
I believe
the
so,
final
yeah.
2 group games there.
Yeah. They technically join up with the England squad if they're in the ODI squad. I'll come back to that just a second. And she tries to drive outside on the up, does Charlie Knott, and it goes through to wicketkeeper Bess Heath. The ball was outside the off stump from Slater. I think these seagulls that are now circling above us have been quite loud, quite distracting. Yeah, so I think they join up with England on the 21st, which will be the day before finals day technically. But whether they would just say, hey, if you're in your regional competition, we'll allow you to join up a couple of days later. It's a good ball from Slater. It's on the pads of Knott, who's defending back to the bowler. Whether that would be a conversation that could happen, because you'd like to think they could be available to play in big finals for their regional teams. And that would go across the board for all the 4 respective teams that would make finals. I'd like to think that the England players would be available for those teams if they're required to. But yeah, technically I think they meet up on the 21st, so we'll see what happens, whether England allow that. First game being on the 26th. And that's off the hips of Knott. It's been dragged leg side, it's dragged for 4, hits the boundary. Advertising boards with a smash, it's 4 to Knott. It's the first boundary of the Vipers innings at the end of the first over. It's a good one though for the Diamonds, 5 for 1.
Do you know what? It's early days, but I still feel quite relieved that that last ball went for a boundary. I don't know why. Because they can't afford too many bad overs, the Vipers here. They can't afford too many quiet overs.
Now, if you reflect on the Diamonds innings, they actually scored off most deliveries, didn't they? Worked the ball round well, rotated the strike well. Didn't hit an awful lot of boundaries, which is why that score probably wasn't in the 170s, like maybe it should have been.
Yeah.
But actually they scored off more deliveries than they didn't, if that makes sense.
Definitely. Now, who have we got here?
This is Sophia Turner, I think.
Sophia Turner, 21 years of age.
Yeah, it is.
Medium pace bowler, bowling from the pavilion end. We did say before the start of play that if both the Vipers and the Sparks can win today, they will seal the final 2 spots in the finals day at Derby a week tomorrow. But they're both under pressure. Vipers here, and also Sparks against Thunder, where Thunder's got 146 for 6. So the Sparks are chasing a similar total. That's a cut away by Danny Wyatt. First ball she's faced, and she's off the mark. The Vipers move on to 6 for 1. So it's a real test for these two sides, looking to qualify. Thunder are certainly in with a shout. The Sparks are in with a shout, as are the Vipers. And there are 3 group games, including today, left for each of those sides to claim those final 2 spots. Blaze and the South East Stars already through to finals day. 4 teams at finals day this year instead of the usual 3.
It's a big day, isn't it, at Derby? Big day for those 4 teams. 2 semi-finals and the final to complete the day. So 3 games for you to come and watch. If you want to get yourself to Derby, get yourself tickets. Have a good full day of cricket. Sophia Turner then from the pavilion end. Charlie Knott works that off her hip and will pick up at least 1. And coming back for the second, running well, running to the danger end. The throw is Paul into Bess Heath, and they will get 2. 2 more to the total. 6 for 1 now. 8 for 1 now, sorry, the Vipers. Charlie Knott moves to 6. That's what I meant to say. Danny Wyatt with her on 1. Good explosive batter at each end here. Sophia Turner short and wide outside the off stump. It's cut over the top of point. It's a good shot. It was in the air for a while. Leah Dobson runs round to her left and picks up the ball, throws it back in. She's got a bullet arm out there. There's Leah Dobson. 2 more to the total, 2 more to Knott. She moves on to 8. Vipers 10 for 1. Surprised that Sophia Turner's opened the bowling. We've got Catherine Fraser as well. But Erin Burns has sometimes done it for them, bowls a bit of off spin. But they've gone with Turner, bowls it on the legs of Charlie Knott, who can only find Erin Burns at mid-wicket. It's a full delivery on her toes and works it leg side but cannot find a run. Good over from Turner so far. 5 from it. 2 more balls to go. She's in to Knott, who's driving on the up. Good looking shot. No real timing though. Armitage, the captain Armitage, made 69, not out earlier on. Does the fielding. No run taken. 2 sweepers, obviously outside of the 25-yard circle in the power play. 1 at deep cover, 1 at deep square. Just in front of square. Defending on this occasion is Knott. Back to Sophia Turner. That's a good over. She's bowled dead at the stumps, a good length to finish as well. That'll give her some confidence, bowling at one international player and one. I can't imagine that Charlie Knott will be too far away from international duty after the sum that she's had. After 2 overs, the Vipers are 10 for 1 here at the Utilita Bowl. And the crowd is building nicely. We've got the men's game to follow later on. Hampshire versus Middlesex, big game for Hampshire. They sit middle of that table. Middlesex struggling in the competition, as they have done in T20 over the last couple of years. They're sitting in 9th. And Hampshire will need a win after being washed out last night. They'll be wanting a win later on, so please stick around for that one if you're in and around the ground. Slater then, Rachel Slater, the Scottish international, to continue to Wyatt, who's playing off the back foot. Hits it out to deep point. It's not very often to see a deep point in women's cricket, to be perfectly honest with you. Does the fielding. It's a good position for Danny Wyatt, actually, deep point. Quite like it as an aggressive attacking option. She likes the offside, favours the offside, gives herself room. 11 for 1.
Good opening over from Slater, wasn't it?
It was 1 for 6 of her figures so far. She's into her second now. Uses her feet. Does Charlie Knott, lifts it over the infield. Lovely looking shot. Will go all the way into the boundary edge for 4. Just lifted it superbly well with almighty timing. She looks like a player in form and she's continuing to do so. She moves to 12. Vipers 15 for 1.
Yes, it's going to, I say, use all her experience. She's only 21, but of course she's played a lot of Big Bash cricket as well. She's a real star, isn't she?
She is.
She has absolutely shown everybody just what a talented player in the Rachel Hayhoe Flint Trophy and in this as well. I can't believe she isn't going to play for Australia at some point.
I don't think she's too far away from it, to be honest with you, Kev. Slater bounding in again then. Left arm over the wicket. No real timing. Knott drives back to her in a follow through. Tries to find the gap on the leg side. And they've now put 2 fielders back on the leg side to try and block off the arc that is Charlie Knott, which, I mean, it could be anywhere really in front of the bat, to be perfectly honest with you, but they've decided to position their fielders at deep square leg and deep mid wicket. So that deep cover that was in position has come up into the inner circle, and there's a ring fielder in the offside now. And that beats the bat. It's hit the stumps, actually, beating everything. It's a beautiful delivery. A stifled Utilita Bowl now as they've seen the back of Charlie Knott, the informed Charlie Knott. I'm just wondering whether we're going to see a replay of that one, because I think it was a bit of a peach, to be honest with you, from Slater. It looked like it pitched middle and hit top of off. We're seeing it again now if you're looking on the live picture feed. Yeah, maybe just went on a little bit. Yeah, she's gone back to a fuller delivery. That's Charlie Knott, and it's been to her demise. So she falls for 12. 2 big players gone for the Vipers. 15 for 2 here.
Wow, this is not in the script, is it? They
Not
really
overly.
are. They really are now. The Vipers under massive pressure here. Rachel Slater.
She's doing the
very
job, isn't
accurately.
she?
Oh, very accurately indeed. Wow. You have to play well from here on in. Might need a Danny Wyatt special here.
It might do. Brings the captain Georgia Adams to the crease. Not had as good a year as she did last year. She had a brilliant season last season, of course. Won PCA Player of the Year off the back of it. And her England A call-up. She's got a job to do with her team here. Got 50 in the last game against the Storm down in Bristol. And she's wafting outside one of the off stump. And I thought that maybe was a wide, but not given by umpire Rose Dovey. A dot ball. Slater bowled both Bouchier and Knott. 2 big wickets for her. Whether she'll get another one in the power play. And go 3 up top, we'll see what Holly Armitage, Captain Holly Armitage, is thinking. She's in again as Slater, and on the pads of Adams, who was coming forward, and then it gets on the outside edge of her bat and goes into the offside. Not convincing from Adams. She's yet to get off the mark. At the end of the 3rd, Vipers in a bit of trouble here, 15 for 2.
It just looks as though they're just struggling a little bit with the line. The left arm over the wicket, really. Just looks as though they haven't quite come to terms with that. So 131 still needed by the Vipers, 17 overs remain. That run rate required from here is around 7 3/4. So this is tough from here, the Vipers. They'll have to play very, very well indeed to win this game. Now we've got a change of bowling. It's going to be Erin Burns, the Australian import. She's going to be bowling her off breaks.
Another game we're interested in, obviously, is the one between Sparks and Thunder, the other game going on today. As we've said a few times, if both the Vipers and the Sparks win, that confirms the top four will be Blaze, Stars, Vipers and Sparks, in any sort of order, I think, after that. But they will be the confirmed top four. And the Sparks, they're chasing 146, they're 7 for 1. So they've lost an early wicket as well. Campbell's gone for a duck in that game there.
Here's Burns then from the pavilion end with her off breaks bowls, and it's turned away on the odds side by Wyatt. Jogs through for a single. Quiet start from Wyatt. She's only faced 3 balls, won a ball 3. She's 16 for 2. So I suppose if Thunder beat the Sparks, then that brings them very much into the equation, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it really is 3 teams vying for 2 spots.
Absolutely, it becomes a really interesting sort of next week, really, from Sunday and Wednesday for the Vipers. Big game against the Sparks on Sunday. At Worcester, huge game, and the Stars at Hove on Wednesday before finals day.
Be live commentary of the BBC Sport website, that game on Sunday, as well as the picture feed. As Burns bowls, and that's Adams driving in the air over mid-wicket, and that'll be 4 runs.
Good shot from Adams, lifts it cleanly. Could hear the sound of the bat when it came off of it. It was a full toss in the end. Adams used her feet to lift it over. But a bit of a gift from Burns gets Adams off the mark with a boundary.
About mid-stump high, that. In a nice arc, wasn't it, for Georgia Adams? So 20 for 2 in the 4th over then. It's down the leg side, and that'll be a wide. Not a great start here from Burns. She's just on the look with the ball, Erin Burns, this competition. 12 wickets for the Diamonds. Top wicket taker at the moment. Has driven straight to mid-wicket, and there is no run.
Good economy as well, she's usually less than 6, so...
Pretty decent. 21 for 2 then, halfway through the 4th over. Adams uses her feet, drives it in the air, could be out caught at mid-wicket, and she's gone. And Adams goes for 4, and the Vipers have lost their 3rd wicket with the score on 21, and we're only in the 4th over.
Looks like Emma Marlowe out there. I'm just waiting for confirmation. The catch was taken brilliantly in the deep nonetheless. Fielder running in. Utilita Bowl here was basically silent when the catch was taken. Almost in shock. It's Adams was trying to repeat the ball before, lifting it over the infield, but just dragged it too square on that occasion. And went straight into the hands of the fielder in the deep. That I think was Emma Marlowe. I'm just going to continue waiting for some confirmation on that. But it's nonetheless seen the back of Adams. She falls for 4. Vipers in a real pickle now, 21 for 3. But they keep coming at you. Do the Vipers. Freya Kemp next. Change of tactics needed here by the Diamonds. Obviously a left-handed Kemp offers a different problem for them, but they've started brilliantly here. It was caught by Marlowe. Confirmation just come up on the scoreboard now. Emma Marlowe caught off the bowling of Burns, was George Adams for 4. 21 for 3 here, the Vipers.
Wow. So Bochier for no score, Charlie Knott for 12, and George Adams for 4. Big 3 gone. Still a big few out there in the middle and a couple to come. No panic yet, but it's getting tougher all the time. Burns round the wicket to the left-hander Freya Kemp, who's playing and missing outside the off stump, trying to drive that one. She usually plays about a shot of ball, Freya Kemp. She doesn't hang around. Nothing unusual. Freya Kemp not included in that one-day international squad that was announced earlier against New Zealand, but she was more T20, isn't she?
Yeah, the T20 squad is yet to be announced.
Yeah. Kemp drives hard up towards mid-off. It'll only be a single, but Kemp's off the mark. She's going to nick the strike. She is from Danny White. Danny White's only faced 3 balls in 4 overs. Remains 3 not out. The Vipers 22 for 3, need another 124.
So in comparison, after 4 overs, the Northern Diamonds had only lost the 1 wicket, that of Emma Marlowe. And in comparison, after 4 overs here in the second innings, the Vipers are 22 for 3. And the 3 that are gone, Boucher, Knott and Adams, 3 big wickets. Slater bowled brilliantly. Don't know if she's going to continue, is she? She will. Bowl 3 in the power play. I thought she might. And get 2 of the big guns out. You want to keep her on and put the pressure on this impressive batting lineup that the Vipers have got. With Dean, Elwes, Southby still to come. In again is Slater over the wicket. Can't adjust for the left-handed Kemp. Will be a wide down the leg side. Would take by Bess Heath up to the stumps now.
At the moment, Rachel Slater has equalled her best bowling analysis for the Northern Diamonds in this competition. This is only her 16th games though, but even so. In fact, now it's 11 actually. She was 2 for 10, but the scoreboard's just ticked over.
Driving outside the off stump is Kemp. We'll find Leah Dobson at deep cover, who's quick to the ball, good arm she's got. Will only be 1. 1 more to the Vipers total, 24 for 3. Yeah, she brought a wide off the first ball.
Kemp's been in good form in this competition. 50 against the South East Stars in the first game, 44 not out in the win. Oh, sorry, what am I talking about? That's Rachel Hayhoe. 55 not out in the second game against Sunrisers at Chelmsford. That was a quick 55 off 35 deliveries. Could do with that again.
Yeah, we could do. Yeah. Definitely. Slater in again then. Down the leg side as she's now struggling to adapt to the right-handed Wyatt.
Right, left.
It's becomes a problem. And the angle of Slater obviously coming left arm over the wicket. She's got to work a little bit harder to get that right.
She was so accurate before this over.
It's easy when you're just bowling it right-handed, just put it in the same spot. She's in again then over the wicket to Danny Wyatt, the right-handed Danny Wyatt, who's on the back foot and chopping down on that one, cutting it out to Emma Marlowe at deep point. 1 more to the total.
So area, isn't it, Danny Wyatt?
Yeah, and you don't see very often a deep point in women's cricket. Generally the ball goes in front of square, so you have a deep cover instead. But for Danny Wyatt, she loves to cut the ball, and so a deep point is a good fielder for her. Slater in again to Kemp. That's better from her. She works it leg side and can't find more than just a single. Is a good bit of fielding there from Sophia Turner, who's running outside of the inner circle. And keeps it to 1. 27 for 3. Kemp 3 from 4. Wyatt 4 from 4. Slow start for the Vipers. The pressure's on. Slater in again. Full delivery. All Wyatt can do is defend. Doesn't get a run for it. Good fielding inside the ring at cover. I think that's Fraser there. Catherine Fraser.
Haven't seen her in the game yet, have we?
Nope.
She'll bowl some off breaks, I guess, at some point. Didn't bat. But she's going to the World Cup T20 with Scotland.
She is. Slater in again, rolls her fingers across that one. A bit short, and Danny Wyatt's able to rock back and slaps it square of the wicket on the leg side. We'll pick up 1 more to her total. She moves to 5.
There's no doubt about it, those early wickets have really rocked the Vipers, haven't they?
Yeah.
Really?
And 3 big wickets as well. Players that if they get going, it could be quite catastrophic for the opposition. So to get them out and get them out cheaply puts the pressure on. Nerves around the ground, you can feel it. Kemp stands tall on that one, crunches it. And can only find Erin Burns. Does a great bit of fielding. It was hit hard. Can't beat Burns at mid-off. And that's the end of the 5th. 1 over left of the power play. The Vipers 28 for 3.
Oh, that was a crunching shot, wasn't it?
She does hit the ball very, very hard.
She does. When she gets going, she is great to watch. There is no doubt about that. Straight to the fielder, either side. It was 4 runs. It was hit that well. But it is a quiet start. Those 3 early wickets, Boucher for no score, Knott for 12, and Adams for 4, has definitely put the Vipers on the back foot, and they didn't really need to be chasing what looks to be a decent 145 for 4. 118 needed. That run rate is just a fraction now under 8 and over from here on in. 15 overs left. Danny Wyatt, who's still only faced 6 balls in 5 overs. It's swept her away on the 45 on the leg side. Start of a new over from Burns. No runs. It goes. Who's that field in there? Katie Levick, yeah. On the 45 on the leg side. So 28 for 3.
We'll see her in action with the ball before long, I can imagine, Levick.
Here's Burns, bowls. White uses her feet, works that into the gap on the onside. There'll be just a single as it goes up to mid-on, and White moves on to a very quiet 6, but that's okay at the moment. Danny Wyatt needs to put in a shift here, doesn't she, really?
I think
for
she's
the
just sort of trying to get a bit of control on the game again, isn't she?
I think you're
At the
right.
minute.
Trying to wrestle the initiative away from the Diamonds, but doing it slowly rather than being reckless. Not reckless yet anyway. Don't need to be reckless, but you need to be very positive. As Burns is round the wicket to the left-hander Kemp. Kemp hits that in the air and it's caught at mid-on. Flat and straight to the fielder. And Kemp goes for 3, and now the Vipers really are in a pickle.
Yeah, they're 4 down now, the Vipers. She couldn't get the elevation. She used her feet. It was in her arc in the end, but didn't really commit to the shot and hit it straight into the hands of Stair Callis at mid-on. And she walks off very slowly because I think she knows that she's not done what the team needed her to do then. She was trying to find the boundary and just hit it straight into the hands of Callis and put the game in the hands of the Diamonds, really. Vipers now 4 down, and I think the Thunder will be, well, not that they can see this game, 'cause obviously playing currently, but they'll be very happy with proceedings at the minute. There's 3 teams that are really fighting for that 4th spot. Vipers are one of them, Sparks and Thunder are playing each other as we speak, the other 2. And the Vipers really need to find themselves out of this hole, and hopefully Charlie Dean's the answer to that, who's just come to the crease.
Yep, another one of the Vipers England players. Somebody does really need to get their, well, not their head down. You can't get your head down in T20. You need to bat a little quicker than that, but somebody needs to take this situation by the scruff of the neck, because the Diamonds are putting the squeeze on here. Still 117 needed. Still Jill Jarrell was dropping down the order, having been an opener for the last few games, and Dean quietly pushes that out on the onside. Well, there's a lot of experience out there for the Vipers in the middle. Danny Wyatt, 156 T20 internationals at the non-strikers end, down the leg side to Dean, and that is a wide. And Charlie Dean, 25 T20 internationals, so getting up towards 190 T20 internationals between them. They'll need to use all of that. Quick single out on the leg side. Dean is off the mark, and the Vipers, for them, crawling along at the moment at 31 for 4, but there's a lot of damage being done at the top of the order. Erin Burns has picked up 2, Rachel Slater has picked up 2. Remember, the Diamonds have only won 1 game so far this season. They sit bottom of the table. It's Wyatt back on strike. Floated, and Wyatt down the leg side, not taken cleanly. Where's Charlie Dean going? She's halfway down, sent back by Wyatt. Wide called.
Yeah, I did wonder where she was off to. Charlie Dean. She's run a whole single on her own.
32 for 4.
She's done some Australian indoor cricket where you run halfway and then run back.
Yes. So she's completed a run in herself. Burns bowls. Quicker ball this time. Swept away by Wyatt in the air, but fortunately over the top of the fielder at back with a square leg, and that's 4 runs. Much to the relief of this crowd when you listen to that.
Yeah. It was a good shot from Danny Wyatt. Luckily it got over the fielder. She wasn't in complete control of it. I think she did try to hit it down, but nonetheless it's gone over the head of the fielder and went to the boundary. So at the end of probably a bit of a disappointing power play for the Vipers, 36 for 4. They say if you lose more than 3 wickets in the power play, you generally go on to lose the game. That's the stat that has been used.
Interesting enough though, they actually are 4 runs better off in the power play than the Northern Diamonds, but
it's just the wickets that's a problem.
That's a massive handicap.
Slater's going to bowl out then. It's not very often you see this. A bowler bowling their allocation of 4 off the bat. But they've decided to keep her going because she's bowling so well. And you can completely understand why. She bowled 3 overs so far, picked up 2 wickets, 2 big wickets with Boucher and Knott. And she's in to bowl her 4th then. Dean waits and slaps it up to long on. It's off the hands of the fielder at mid-off actually. Good stop by Stair Callis at mid-off.
Good stop there.
Parries it to Erin Burns at long on. They do get through for 1.
Their catching's been good and their fielding's been good so far.
It's going to keep them in the game, isn't it? T20 cricket, hold on to your catches. Well, in any form of cricket really, hold on to your catches. Take your opportunities in the field. Field change for Wyatt, that deep point waiting. Will she be tempted to hit it in that area? We'll wait and see. Slater in over the wicket to her, and she's off the back foot, heaves it into the leg side, tries to split the 2 fielders. Obviously they're outside of the power play now, so we can have 4 out. There's a bit of a misfield from, I think that's Sophia Turner out there, at deep mid wicket. I'll collect 2 more. She hit a bit uppishly from Wyatt.
Was she trying to hit that over the rope?
It's a long way out there, isn't it? I'd be a bit concerned if she's trying to do that at this stage. Wyatt's on 12, 39 for 4 the Vipers. Just need to build a partnership between these two. It's off the hip of Wyatt this time, hits her on the pad and ricochets to short fine. Throw comes in over the head of wicketkeeper Bess Heath, but there is no run conceded.
There's a lot resting on these 2 shoulders out there in the middle.
Feels like there's a lot of pressure, doesn't there? You can feel it around the ground. Wyatt waits for Slater, who's in full delivery, driving as Wyatt up to mid-off. The fielding is done by Stair Callis. No run is taken. Just feel a big shot is coming. There's always the worry with Danny, not the worry with Danny Wyatt, but there's always the sort of anticipation that she's going to throw her hands through one.
Because she doesn't mind hitting the ball in the air either, does she?
No. Slater in, cutting as Wyatt cuts straight to short third. Good bit of fielding, can't find the gap. Pressure building on Wyatt.
Only 3 runs off this over with 1 ball left. She's hit some good shots, just finding the fielders.
12 from 13 now. Danny Wyatt bowling well here is Slater. Just 3 conceded off her final over. Holly Armitage just throwing the ball back to her, and it's hit her in the midriff, I think. Thank you, Skip. Just another field change. That fielder at deep point's now gone to a regulation deep cover. Long offs out, so they've got 2 protecting on the leg side. On the offside now. Fielder from deep squares come up. So split field outside the off stump. She split the gap between third and point and run away to the boundary. That'll be 4. That'll relieve some pressure on Wyatt. Will relieve some pressure on the Vipers. A welcome boundary for them. 43 for 4. Wyatt moves to 16.
She's been threatening that. She's hit a couple of good cut shots which have found the fielder. They've got that set for that, to be fair, the Diamonds. They've got 2 fielders behind square. They know Danny Wyatt's looking for that. The angle is on for that shot. But there, she found the placement. The placement was perfect. But there's a few more like that before you can start to think about the Vipers winning this game. There's no doubt the Diamonds are on top. 145 for 4. Holly Armitage with 69 not out, batting all the way through. And the Vipers here, 43 for 4. 7 overs gone. 13 left. We'll keep an eye on that other game, of course. We've been mentioning it throughout, between the Central Sparks and the Thunder. The Thunder making 146 for 6. They're in the mix. The Sparks are 32 for 2 after 7. They need 115 from 13 overs. It's the start of a new over, and that's cut away by Dean up towards extra cover. And there is no run. So this is Sophia Turner with her medium paces. Just 21 years of age, comes in with the keeper standing up Slower ball, and that's turned away by Dean, and there could be runs here. That's running away down towards the fine leg boundary, and that's a good contest, and the ball's won. It just kept going, the ball.
Good bit of timing from Charlie Dean. Works it off her hip nicely. Katie Levick was after it, gave good chase, but wasn't quick enough. In the end, she slides over the boundary rope, but you're right, the ball just kept going away from her. Back-to-back boundaries here for the Vipers.
I think Levick thought she would get there, but then the ball just didn't change pace, did it? It just kept going. It was never quick. Outside off stump, cut away by Dean, but not timed. But she has found the gap on the offside, and she moves on to 7. 48 for 4, the Vipers. They now need 98 here. That run rate required is just come down a fraction, 7.8 from here on in. But a massive partnership between these two now needed by the Vipers. Certainly a big one. Maybe massive might be a bit too much to hope for, but a big one would be nice. I think the Diamonds might feel that one more wicket here and they're in. Although there's Georgia Elwes to come in yet. Still the main batter for the Vipers. Has been opening in this competition, just dropped down really.
Highest run scorer for the Vipers, 197 before this game.
Oh right, I hadn't realised, yeah, so there we are. There's big contributions from her. There's Turner, cut away by Wyatt. She's found the gap on the offside, but there was a fielder out there. And Wyatt moves on to 17. At the moment, Danny Wyatt is playing a very low-risk game here. She's not really got out of first gear. 17 of 15, 49 for 4. I think she realises the enormity of this situation out there. And
Enormity.
Enormity.
I like that word.
Do you like that?
These showers have not appeared either, which is great news
It is, isn't it?
for cricket fans everywhere and for this game.
Still 97 needed. Turner comes in and bowls. Oh, it's scooped up in the air. They're going to take a quick single. Have to hurry. Throw comes in at mid-on, but she's home. Is Charlie Dean. And those are just looped up. 50 runs up for the Vipers.
Round of applause from the crowd. Lots of school children in today. And the crowd's building nicely as we move into the back end of this game in preparation for the men's game later.
Last ball of the 8th over. Turner bowls. Cut away by Wyatt, but she's found the fielder at backward of point, and that will end that over. Wyatt is on 17, Dean is on 8, and the Vipers are 50 for 4, chasing 145 for 4. The Diamonds totaled.
Need a further 96 for victory off the next 12 overs.
Not easy.
No, especially with only 6 wickets in hand, it's definitely not easy. So you're right, Kev, a partnership between these two is key to do the majority of the work. Required run, I can never say that, I'm just going to stop. Run rate required is the easier way to say it, is 8. And the run rate currently being the 6.25, as it just popped up back on my screen. It did disappear, I was like, oh no. 6.25 is the current run rate for the Vipers. First look at Levick then. Today,
Leg breaks.
11 wickets for her so far. She starts with a short wide one outside the off stump that's missed everything, including Dean, who was trying to cut that one. Kept it a little bit low.
She's got a bottom edge on there. Not
And,
signalled anything.
Concedes 1 then. 51 for 4. Definitely see Levick, she loves to bowl from this end actually. Most of the times when I've commentated Diamonds, she's bowled from this, the hotel end. She's in too wide, short and wide outside the off stump. It's hit firmly for 4, beats the outstretched hand at point. I think that's Emma Marlowe there. No, it's not. It's Catherine Fraser. Beats her and races to the boundary. 55 for 4. Now the Vipers. Wyatt now just starting to get going a little bit more. Moves on to 21.
Another shot through that point area for batter Danny Wyatt. He does time it beautifully through there. Definitely her strength.
She waits again, does Wyatt, for Levick. She's crossed the stumps this time, making room for herself on the leg side. Hits it into the leg side and gets 2. Good running. Charlie Dean was quick to turn and came back for a comfortable 2.
That's interesting.
57 for 4.
It's interesting, that shot was still set up for a cut shot, wasn't it? But she'd already decided to come across the stumps and was hitting that on the leg side even before the ball had pitched.
Clever batting from Wyatt. Just trying to manoeuvre the field around. Now it's spread. She's again across her stump, sweeping. Misses everything again. We'll get 1. Don't know if it's going to be... It will be called runs.
No, it's buys, is it? Or is it?
I think it
I
was
think
runs.
you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think she was just, umpire Roseday was just signalling 2 balls remaining of the over. So another run off the bottom edge of Danny Wyatt's bat. Dean uses her feet, sweeps, that's a strength of hers. Sweeps well into the leg side, and Leah Dobson out there does the fielding. Throw comes in. Bit of a poor throw. Bess Heath comes out from behind the stumps to collect it and hits her on the thumb, I think. She shakes her glove off and inspects the damage. Hopefully there's not too much damage to her. She's set up again now. Levick in again to Wyatt this time. He stays in her crease, stays still, prods forward and gets off strike. She plays that one into the offside. The end of Levick's first. That conceded 10. Good over for the Vipers. 60 for 4 after 9.
Just get the feeling, don't you, out there? I know that went for 10, but during that over, that Danny Wyatt's decided just to up the ante a fraction. I'm sure that will pull Charlie Dean along with her as well. Just get the feeling that they've just decided just to move up half a gear.
Yeah, just not letting, that's not a word. Not letting the, gosh, not letting the bowlers settle into their spell. Levick's such an important bowler for the Diamonds, just not letting her off the hook, bowling her first one. Goes for 10. We're going to see more spin.
Who's this?
This is Fraser.
Catherine Fraser, 19 years of age, Scottish international. On some off breaks, round the wicket, and that's a drive and a miss from Danny Wyatt as the ball goes across her. Mentioned it earlier, but Catherine Fraser, part of those Scotland squad that got into the T20 World Cup. Look forward to in September. Now Wyatt goes in the air. This could be called at mid-off. Oh, it's just fallen short. One bounce up to the top end of the ground. Wyatt starting to hit the ball in the air a little bit more, which always is a worry.
Yeah, she was looking to go over extra cover, which is her more favoured area, and got a little bit too straight.
Yeah. She played in the qualifying final against Sri Lanka, Catherine Fraser. I think they were already there, weren't they? Because they beat Ireland in the semi-final, Scotland, so they were already there in the qualifiers, but they played Sri Lanka in the final, lost that, but it didn't matter because Scotland had already qualified. Catherine Fraser part of that. Didn't play in the Rachel Hayhoe early in the season because of those qualifiers. That's hit in the air, slightly short of mid-off. By Charlie Dean, that sounded like it came off the bottom of the bat. Mid-off is up. It looks like Dean is going to aim for shots over mid-off and extra cover. Fraser's in, bowls. Dean's on the back foot, just steers that to extra cover, goes to the field. Have to hurry here, Danny Wyatt. She's home.
Yeah, she called it through early, Wyatt. She said, no, I'm coming. And gets home safely in the end.
Good over so far. 2 off the 4 balls from Fraser.
And it's just bowls some drifters across the batter.
Yeah.
The right-hander coming round the wicket. She's trying to take it out of Danny Wyatt's arc. It's much harder to hit in her more favoured slot across through the offside.
Wyatt's on the back foot, cuts that away, finds the fielder at cover.
Misses out on that, I think, Danny Wyatt.
There's some gaps there, isn't there? But there is a ring of 4 fielders saving 1.
As soon as you split them, it could be 4, so I feel like she's missed out. Short and wide.
Fraser again in bowls. And Wyatt cuts and hasn't really got power into that shot, and it's misfielded. So they'll come through for a single. End of the over, not a bad one from a Diamonds point of view. Just the 3 runs off it. 63 for 4 then, the Vipers, and they still need another 83, and we're at the halfway stage.
Same stage, the Northern Diamonds were 66 for 1, so they're only 3 runs behind, but again it's the wickets. They've lost 3 more wickets than the Diamonds had done. The wickets to fall. Bouchier was bowled by Slater for a duck, 2 in a row for her. Charlie Knott was also bowled by Slater for 12. It was a good delivery from her. Adams, bit of a soft dismissal, hits it out into the deep, was caught by Marlowe, and Freya Kemp, another soft one, hit it straight to Stair Callis at mid-on and was dismissed for 3. So those are the 4 to fall. Boucher, Knott, Adams and Kemp. That's not a bad 4 to get if you're a Northern Diamonds fan. Holly Armitage, the captain, to bowl her leg spin.
A few leg break bowlers in this side.
Yeah. See if she can make an impact with the ball as she did with the bat. Made 69 with the bat earlier on, carried her bat on her birthday. She's in. Holly Armitage. Off the back foot is Wyatt, cuts it into the deep on the offside. Emma Marlowe does the fielding. One more to the total. Partnership building between these two.
Yeah, it clearly feels that her birthday is the day. She's already got runs.
To get business done.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, their chance of qualification is pretty much done. She's in again. Off the back foot is Dean, uses all of the crease and hits it well into the leg side. Good fielding by, is that Erin Burns down there? Yeah. Gets the throw back in, and 2 more to the total. Good use of the crease by Dean, another 2 to her total. She's on 13. Yeah, so the Diamonds' chance of qualification are pretty much done. So all they can do now is upset those above them and take momentum back into their 50-over competition that continues after the conclusion of this competition. Off the back foot again is Dean, calls loudly through for 1 as that ball was fielded at mid-off by Stair Callis. Another 1 to the total. 67 for 4.
7 boundaries in the Vipers innings so far.
Wyatt waits for Armitage, who's in. Flatter, short one, it's in the air, it's a soft dismissal, it's hit straight to cover, extra cover. Slater's in the action again, this time with the catch. And Holly Armitage, the captain, she did the business with the bat, and now she's got a breakthrough with the ball. Big wicket, Danny Wyatt goes for 28.
She can't do any wrong, really, Armitage. I think she had a hunch coming on the bowl. I think she thought she could upset the Vipers, and they have. Danny Wyatt, that's a massive wicket. 28 of 26 deliveries. She was just starting to get going. And that's a massive blow. Those two put on 38.
Yeah, it was a good partnership, wasn't it? But it still needed to build. It does bring Georgia Elwes to the crease, who was opening the batting before now. Finds herself at 7 today as some reinforcements at the top come in for England players, but it hasn't paid off so far. Wyatt made a small contribution of 28, but it really wasn't enough. And Georgia Elwes comes in at 7, 197 runs before today at 32. Striking at 107, so needs to take that momentum now into this to try and get the Vipers across the line if they can. That required rate up at 8.5. Their current run rate 6.3, so a little bit of work to do for Elwes. She'll be calm though, one feels, if nothing else. She's driving on the up in the air for a little length of time, but it finds the vacant space at deep cover. Another 1 to the total. She's off the mark straight away. 68 for 5. She does bring an element of calm, I think. When I see her bat, she just quite chilled, quite calm, lots of experience. To work with Dean, who's trying to cut off the stumps and gets a thin outside edge. It's racing away from, I think that's Fraser, and it will go for 4. It's not, it's Duckworth actually, I lied. Duckworth making a debut. Is not unable to catch up with that one. And Dean will pick up 4 more, so 72 for 5. Good finish to the over for the Vipers after losing the wicket of Wyatt in the middle of it. After 11, the Vipers are 72 for 5.
Yeah, she's going to need to be calm out there. How's Charlie Dean on run chases?
Again, quite calm, but she's just a bit frantic when I look at her bat. She's lots of movement, lots of big expansive sweep shots, but she's got better at pacing and innings, and she's obviously got experience now at international level of doing it and being more of a sort of a bowling all-rounder for them. But Georgia Elwes, for me, is just that calming presence. Again, in the dressing room as well, just a calming presence. So I think she'll be good for Dean out there to just work together. 74 from 54, the equation for the Vipers to get over the line in this game.
Still tough. It's been tough ever since they started their reply. Catherine Fraser with her off spinners continues, driven by Elwes, half stopped and pushed up to mid-off, no run. I think for the first time today, just feels as though we're not too far away from a shower. I think we might be all right, but just suddenly for the first time I'm looking above us. Haven't looked so far. Down the leg side, that'll be a wide. Good take though from Bess Heath. Vipers move on to 73 for 5. Another 73 needed. We're in the 12th over. Fraser bowls down the wicket, comes Elwes, drives that up to mid-on. She doubles a total to 2, 74 for 5. Not at any stage in this reply have I felt comfortable with the Vipers. The Northern Diamonds have been on top since the first over when Maya Boucher was bowled by Rachel Slater. You always felt the Diamonds had just the edge. As Fraser bowls, it's swept away by Dean, hard out towards deep mid-wicket along the ground. You're right about those sweep shots. Plays that very well. Front of square. Dean moves on to 19 from 15.
Just stresses me slightly where she plays it off the stumps. That's the only stress. It involves immaculate timing, which she's got.
Yeah, she needs to get a bat on it every time, doesn't she? Elwes drives pleasantly out towards extra cover. Finds the fielder. Sun shines back out, so that's good news. But there are, when I look around, there are some heavier clouds around and about. Not so much blue sky as there was earlier.
Bit of a breeze as well. You can see the Hampshire flag opposite us, wafting around in the breeze.
Isn't it? Blowing this way, I think. Elwes comes down the wicket, drives into the gap on the onside. Will they take 2? Dean's running, thinks about it. She's the one running to the danger end and rather wisely says no. I think that would have been suicidal had they gone for a second there. It's not quite, we're not quite at that stage yet. 70 needed, 76 for 5. Elwes back on strike. Another good over here from Fraser. Now Dean goes in the air, just about over mid-off, and that will go for 4. It was more wide of mid-off than over the top of mid-off. So she got the placement right, and he does need one of these two just to take 1 or 2 calculated risks. Don't need to do any more than that, but the pressure will build, of course, the more overs we get into this game. 12 gone, 80 for 5. And I think that's 66 needed.
66. Yeah, that does say 66.
Yeah, so 8 and overs. Easy to work out.
8 overs to go then. The continuation of leg break bowling then from the hotel end. We've seen Levick, we saw Armitage, and Levick's going to come back for her second. First one went for 10, which is a little bit expensive for her track record.
Why has Armitage come off then?
Maybe just the breakthrough and then get off. Levick sort of your experienced leg spinner. Leading wicket taker. Just off the back foot is Elwes. Hits that out to deep cover. And Marlowe out there does the fielding. 81 for 5. Levick in again to Dean, who's driving back to her, and it's a good delivery that's fielded off her own bowling. Levick, yeah, she's your more experienced sort of leg spinner. She's the second leading wicket taker after Erin Burns in this competition so far. Off the back foot, cutting is Dean this time into the offside. They'll pick up 1 more as Armitage does the fielding just outside the inner circle on the offside.
Yeah, she's taken 48 wickets for the Diamonds in T20 cricket.
Yeah, she's been fantastically successful for them over the years. On the legs of Elwes, hits the pad, runs away from Slater, who knees it further away from her actually. Is it going to concede a boundary? No, it's just pulled in. But I think that's Duckworth there, pulled in just inside the rope. She did well in the end, Slater, to stop the ball, but as she was trying to get up, I think she kneed it further away from her, which then conceded another run. So Elwes gets 2. 82 for 5, the Vipers. Levick in again, straighter this time, and Elwes comes forwards and prods that into the offside. 1 more collected to her total. She moves to 5, 83 for 5. The Vipers. A further 61 required here to win this game. Levikin again. Dean uses her feet, clips it off her legs. Square on the leg side, one more. 84 for 5, that's the end of the 13th. Went by in a flash, really. 86 for 5, further 60 runs to win now. Required rate 8.6, current is 6.6. They need to keep going and add a couple more runs and over.
Good game to win from here. They have to play very well indeed. The Diamonds just need to keep their cool, bowl accurately, set the fields right. And there'll be a mistake somewhere along the line. Just got to make sure you take the chances. Their catching has been very good today. Emma Marlowe and Stur Callis took two very good catches to get rid of Adams and Kemp.
The other game that's going on in this competition, of course, Central Sparks are playing Lancashire Thunder at Edgbaston. And if Sparks and Vipers win, that decides the top 4. Sparks are 71 for 2, chasing down Lancashire's 146. They need a further 76 runs to win from just a touch over 8 overs remaining.
Erin Burns is back then with her off spin, and there's a slog sweep from outside off stump. Charlie Dean doesn't time it, so they might get 2. Just taking the pace off the ball by it not coming out the middle of the bat. It's gone out towards deepish mid-wicket. Burns is into her 3rd over here, has 2 for 17, got rid of Adams and Kemp. 88 for 5, 58 needed. To the 14th over here. Burns bowls down the wicket and hits on the full toss, misfielded at mid-off. Thought the fielder would get there. They may just have got fingertips to it, and that's 4 runs. Now the crowd is starting to come alive. Just getting to the point in this game where it starts to get exciting when you think, are they going to do it? Are they not going to do it?
Good shot by Dean.
It was half stopped, wasn't it?
It's half stopped, but it still went for 4.
It did, didn't it? Dean moves on to 31. And she's equalled her highest score for the Vipers in this competition. Facing Burns, comes down the wicket again. Burns just drops it short, cleverly. And Dean can do no more than play it back to the bowler. 31 from 22, Charlie Dean. Halfway through the 14th over, the Vipers still need 54 from here. They win this, they're almost home and dry in finals day, and that's hit out on the onside, not quite though, depending on what happens in the other game we've been talking about. Single to Charlie Dean, that's now a high score in T20 cricket for the Vipers. 32 she's on, 93 for 5, 2 balls left of the 14th.
53 required for the Vipers for victory.
Literally every couple of minutes now it's either sunshine or it goes dull behind the clouds. It literally is changing by the minute. Pulled away by Georgia Elwes, and that's half stopped at deep mid-wicket. That's a really good stop actually. They'll come back for 2. That was really travelling. Out there is Emma Marlowe, did a fantastic job there.
Good fielder. In the deep, Emma Marlowe.
Very agile. It's a big boundary away to our left. 95 for 5. I think a lot of these seagulls are circling because there's food. They can smell the food in the air being cooked. Elwes works there on the onside. Erin Burns comes quickly across, but can't prevent a single. So Elwes will keep the strike. So we've had 14 overs here at the Utilita Bowl, and the Vipers are 96 for 5. Still they're ahead of the Diamonds. We never felt the Diamonds, even though they were going along nicely, they always went along at the same pace.
Yeah.
And they're 6 runs to the better at this stage, but they have lost those 5 top order wickets.
And obviously they had players in at the end in Armitage and Heath that were striking the ball nicely, so they need to keep these players in Dean and Elwes. The partnership is key for them to continue progressing this score onwards. Armitage is back then, so they're swapping their leg spinners over. The Diamonds short and wide outside the off stump. It's cut in front of square by Elwes. She's coming back for the second. Dean's quick, she'll get there. Just about. Direct hit could have been interesting, but the throw was not gathered cleanly by Armitage. And 2 more to the total. Good running from the Vipers. It might take a bit of that, pushing these boundary fielders. Big boundaries here at the Utilita Bowl, especially square of the wicket. 2 more to the total. 98 for 5. Elwes moves across her crease and wallops it into the leg side. No real timing though. And Dobson will do the fielding at deep mid-wicket. 99 for 5.
So 34 more balls left in this game, and the Vipers need 47. I'm just waiting for Charlie Dean to do up a pad or a glove or a
Shoelace.
Shoelace. Important innings from Charlie Dean. What a time to get your top score in this competition. She's playing in her 24th T20 game for the Vipers.
I feel like it'll only matter to her if she wins the game from here though. She's rocking back on the back foot and it goes through Slater at extra cover and they'll concede 1. I think they were running anyway. 1 more to Dean's total. 100 runs for the Vipers. Comes up in the 15th over. The 100 for the Diamonds came up in the 16th, so they're an over in front, but it's just the wickets that are a problem. But if these two keep going, then anything can happen. Elwes again moves across her crease. It goes down the leg side. It won't be called a wide because she's moved across. Wasn't far away from her leg stump, to be perfectly honest with you. Dot ball. Missed out on that one, did Elwes. She favours that shot. This time she's trying to go over on the offside. We'll get it into the vacant space. It's run, Emma Marlowe's run past it. And they'll concede another one. So 2 more to the total. Elwes tried to get that. I think she was trying to go over extra cover, but got the thickest outside edge, and it just landed in no man's land, or no woman's land, no person's land. In the middle of the squares to our left. Concedes 2, 102 for 5. That's a better shot. Hits it straight to extra cover. They're running. Slater hesitated slightly. I think they're happy to concede the single, to be honest with you. 104 or 103 for 5 after 15. 103 for 5 after 15. And a further 43 required from the last 5 overs of this game.
Yeah, 30 balls is all that's left. Still difficult when you've lost 5 wickets like that. 4 of them in the power play. Still very difficult. Northern Diamonds for me are still shading it, but these two together, big players. Georgia Elwes, a former international as well, so all of the Vipers' top order. Very, very, very good players indeed. And they're having to summon absolutely everything here. They're nowhere near over the line yet. A lot of work to do. So what have we got? Who have we got back in? 43 then.
This is Fraser again, I think.
Catherine Fraser has bowled well with her Ross breaks. Down the wicket comes Elwes. Runs the first one quickly as it goes out square on the leg side. Are they going to take the throw on? Elwes wants to. Dean's not so sure. She'll have to hurry. Oh, the bowler's in front of the stumps again. At the far end. Again, for me, it's just not a great position. I know it's the modern position, but as a bowler, if you're in front of the stumps, Dean was struggling there. Didn't pick it up cleanly. 105 for 5. 29 balls remain, 41 needed. Fraser bowls down the wicket. Elwes gets an inside edge. Wasn't quite sure where it is. Goes behind square on the leg side. Pulled quickly through by Dean.
Another 1 to the total then. 106 for 5 now.
40 off 28. Dean on 33. Still gaps on the offside. Nobody out deep if they can find it. She's bowling a tight line. Goes to the reverse sweep, and that is over the head of backward a cover, and that's going for 4. I think you enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it's a good shot, isn't it? It's a reverse slap over the infield. It's a good shot from Charlie Dean. She likes to go square of the wicket. She's confident. It's a higher score, and she's given the Vipers a half a chance here. 36 now from 27. 37 to her name, 110 for 5 now, the Vipers. Good shot.
Certainly was. Keeping the same field though. Well, that's a low full toss and it's slapped away up the ground by Dean. That should be 4 more. Is it called a no ball as well, though? I think it is. It's 4 and a no ball. Just lost her composure here a little bit, Catherine Fraser.
She could have hit it anywhere, couldn't she? Charlie Dean chose to go straight. She slapped it back past the bowler. It's called a no ball, so the next ball will be a free hit. Dean's into the 40s. This is better now for the Vipers. 31 from 27. It's now looking a little bit like it's in their, their court to lose now.
Yeah. It's getting closer to that runner ball mark, isn't it, really? It was a big gap a couple of overs ago. And this is... what's Charlie Dean going to do here? She can do what she likes. Comes down the wicket and hits that hard out towards deep mid-wicket, and that'll be 4. Well, Fraser's been really inexpensive until this over, and the wheels are just coming off here a fraction for her.
Another boundary conceded. That's 3 in a row. Dean uses her feet, pulls it hard into the leg side, finds the boundary with ease. There's a massive gap out there and split them perfectly. 52-run partnership between these two. It's come in no time at all, really, and now we're down to pretty much a runner ball for the Vipers.
31 balls, that 50 partnership. Fraser bowls, outside off stump, slapped up to mid-off by Dean. Didn't quite time that one. And running over, this has been for the Vipers. So 25 are needed, and we've got 26 balls. Sorry, 26
from 25.
26 from 25, yeah. 120 for 5 then, the Vipers. And this over has gone for a lot. I'm trying to work it out. It's quite a few. I'll try and come back to that. Pulled away by Elwes, but there is a fielder at deep mid-wicket. So it'll be a quiet single to end that over. And that has been a big over from a Vipers point of view.
18 from it?
Was it 18? Wow.
I think it was 18.
43-25, yes, you're right. What a time. What
Catherine
a time.
Fraser, expensive in her last over, brings it to pretty much a runner ball now. 25 from 24 the Vipers need. Elwes and Dean, great partnership between these two. It's been worth 50, it's come in good time. And now it's in the hands of the Vipers to lose for me. The Diamonds had control of it for so long. Early wickets to fall. The wickets that have fallen, if you've just joined us: Boucher, Knott, Adams, Kemp and Wyatt. I mean, we don't say them too often in the same team, but to get rid of all of them, you've still got the quality of Dean and Elwes at the crease now to try and see the Vipers home from here. Return of Sophia Turner with her right arm medium pace. She switched ends, so she's now going to bowl from the hotel end. She's bowled both of her overs so far that she's bowled. And it's conceded 12. She bowled them both from the pavilion end, so she's changed attack now. Elwes waits for her, she's 20, providing good support for Dean. She moves across her crease as Elwes. It's on the back foot, drives nicely out to deep cover. A single is taken. It's pretty much all that's required now for the Vipers. They can just try and ease their way home if they can with no real risk. They don't want to be losing wickets now and sending new batters in to finish the job. They want to do it themselves. These two that are out there, 24 from 23. Turner in again. Again, Dean moves across her crease and drags it leg side. Has she split the gap perfectly? I think she has. She'll get 4 more. Brilliant batting, Charlie Dean. She moves to 50. That'll get a huge round of applause from her teammates who stood up in the dugout, from the fans around the ground. It's 50 for Charlie Dean off 29 deliveries. It's a brilliant knock. It's her highest knock, but it's been absolutely superb. 20 from 22 now. The Vipers need for victory. Sophia Turner under pressure, ball in hand. Dean again moves across her crease and slaps it up to mid-off. It's out. It's gone past the outstretched hand of Callis, but they'll pick up 2 more as Burns comes round from long on to do the fielding. 2 more to the total, 2 more to Dean. 18 from 21 now. It's under a runner ball, Kev.
Unbelievable, wasn't it? That was a massive 16th over, wasn't it? 18 runs has taken the pressure right off. Well,
it's how a game can change.
Big pressure's off.
Absolutely.
Doesn't it? 1 over has changed everything.
You just feel like the game is for the Vipers to lose now. As Dean again works that nicely to long on. Quiet single taken. 53 to her name. 53 off 31 balls. She's played a blinder so far for the Vipers. They need a further 17 to win from 20 deliveries. But Elwes has provided good support, hasn't she? 21 from 19, just got Dean on strike.
It's been a terrific partnership. It's how not to panic in a panicky situation.
Any young players watching around the ground or watching the stream or listening online, this is how you play pressure situations. On the back foot as Elwes pulls it into the leg side. And we'll pick up 1 more as Burns comes around from long on. They've barely taken a risk. but they've been rewarded for their efforts, and that, you know, those loose balls do come if you're patient. And there's a couple of loose ones, you get a free beat, free hit, and, you know, a couple of wide no balls, things like that start to go your way, and, you know, the bowlers start to feel the pressure. And the tables can turn so quickly in T20 cricket. They're favouring to move across the crease, both batters. Dean tries to do that, hits it hard back to the bowler, who stops it in a follow through, probably saves the boundary, to be honest with you. It's hit so hard. Sophia Turner, 3 overs bowled through for her. Not taking a wicket yet, but she's bowling well. 130 for 5, 3 to go, 16 from 18 now required.
Well, Charlie Dean on 53 is now 6 away from her highest ever T20 score. 59 not out for Hampshire women.
When was that? How many years ago was that?
I don't know when that was.
I'm trying to remember, because I probably would have played.
Yeah, you probably did play whatever game that was, whenever that was.
Yeah. When the 100 or so that I have played, you'd like to think that I would have been involved in that one, but I can't quite think of where that was, or when it was. She was probably about 15 at the time or something.
Say, probably a long time ago. So, what have we got now? Levick?
Yeah, this
switching
is Levick.
ends with a leg spin. They're taking a quick single to mid-wicket. They're home with another single. And the equation now is 17 balls remaining and 15 runs required. Wow, how things have changed in a flash for the Vipers. 53 not out there. Charlie Dean goes for the sweep shot. More runs here. In fact, it'll be 4. Charlie Dean. Terrific stuff. Even gets applause here from Charlotte Taylor.
Well, I had to applause it because she's come across her crease, created the angle for herself, and she's just playing brilliantly. She's playing with so much confidence. Nails the sweep shot again. Hits it fine, hits it for 4. She moves to 57 from 33 deliveries. And she's got the Vipers into an almost, well, pretty much a winning position from here.
Levick bowls again. Down the wicket comes Dean and works that up to mid-on. Oh, it's taken a wicked bounce off the water box. Fortunately, nobody was fielding anywhere near there. And Dean moves on to 58 off just 34 deliveries. And the Vipers, with 15 balls remaining, need just 10 runs to win this game. 136 for 5. Elwes on 23, playing her part as well. Mustn't forget that. Cuts it away on the 45. Dean's already running through for a single. And with each single and with every ball that's bowled now, the Vipers get ever closer on securing a win, which may not confirm their place in the last 4, depending on what happens with Central Sparks and Thunder, but will certainly go a long way with 2 games to go, and that's pulled away by Dean. She now equals her top score ever in T20 cricket. She's 59 not out.
Brilliant from Dean.
What a time to do it. The Vipers were really, really in trouble. 29 for 4, 67 for 5 even when Danny Wyatt was out. There's a sweep shot there on the 45 and it's another single. The momentum here is all Vipers. 2 overs left and they need just 7. And I have to say, I could never see that coming. 4 wickets in the power play. Boucher, not Adams and Kemp, big 4, and then 5 with Danny Wyatt going in the 11th. That was 67 for 5. I did not see this situation where with 2 overs to go, they're coasting.
And this is what happens when you have big players. You want these big England players and players with Elwes' experience to come and win you games of cricket. And the Vipers have found ways over the years of winning games of cricket that they maybe should not win. And winning in position, they got themselves into a winning position today, and that's all thanks to these 2. For me, they've played brilliantly. They now only need 7. For me, the icing on the cake would be them finishing it off. They don't want to get out now and leave it to Southby and Davies, Smith. Although they can all bat, they don't want to leave it to those types of players to win the game. They want to be able to do it themselves and not let the Diamonds back in. 2 overs to get 7. Elwes will know that. She's on strike now. Change of bowling. Erin Burns comes back now from the hotel end, her first from this end. Elwes moves across her crease, pulls into the leg side, a little bit uppishly, but will find a single. Out to deep mid-wicket. Will Armitage start bringing some fielders in at some stage, just to try and put the pressure on? There's 2 fielders up straight, so that's... Oh no, they're now going back. For Dean. Long on's now going back. 140 for 5, 6 to win. I've only seen 1 6 so far, that's from Bess Heath. I don't think we're going to see another one to win the game, but I could be wrong. It's hit back strongly by Dean, up past the bowler. Turner does well at long on to do the fielding, but not well enough to stop the 2. I thought it was going to go for 4 for a second as Sophia Turner races round in front of us, or below us, to do the fielding. Good strong shot from Dean. 4 to win now.
That is now our highest ever T20 score.
She's batted brilliantly, hasn't she? Burns in again. Dean getting funky, goes back in her crease and works it behind square on the leg side. I thought she was going to try and reverse, but gets a single. 3 to win now.
I think the Diamonds will feel a little bit sick at this stage.
Yeah.
I think, to be fair to them.
And they've played well, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've just been at the demise of Charlie Dean and Georgia Elwes in this partnership. It's been brutal. Elwes pulls into the leg side, pulls it out into the deep. There will be 1 out to deep mid-wicket. Leah Dobson out there. 2 to win now for the Vipers. 8 deliveries remaining.
And the Sparks need 27 off 20 balls with 8 wickets remaining.
They should do that as well. So could we have the final 4 at the end of these 2 games? 2 good games of cricket on show today.
They're playing the Thunder, of course, just to remind everybody.
If you're listening to either of the 2, or here at the ground at either of the 2, or watching on the feed, I think you've been in for a treat today.
Yeah.
This game and the one at Edgbaston looks like it's in for a good finish as well. Fielders have come up now. 2 to win. Burns into Dean. She drives it through the offside. There's 1. Will she come back for the second? Will she win the game for the Vipers? She will. They come back for 2. Vipers win this one, a tight one. Charlie Dean punches the air, looks to her teammates in the dugout. They're ecstatic. The Vipers team, coach and captain, will be relieved at that one to get another win. They're closer to finals day. It's not quite there yet, it's not quite confirmed. We confirmed that Diamonds are out, of course. That loss sees them firmly sat at the bottom end of the table, but Charlie Dean, 64 not out of 38 deliveries, and we can't forget about Georgia Elwes. Brilliant support from her, 27 from 25. And the Vipers win this one by 5 wickets. And they give themselves a little bit of a closer nudge towards finals day.
Well, Charlie Dean came in at 29 for 4 at the fall of Freya Kemp's wicket. That was in the 6th over, the last wicket in the power play, and they were really struggling here, the Vipers. But what a turnaround. That over number 16 that went for 18 runs completely turned this game on its head. It could have gone either way. You'd even say that Diamonds were narrowly in front at that stage, but in the end, what a comfortable victory it's been for the Vipers. They won with 7 balls to spare.
It's mad, isn't it? And the atmosphere here when they won the game was, it's not full by, any stretch of the imagination, but there's a really good crowd, and you can see how much it meant to the crowd and to the players as well that they've won this game. As the players come out and shake hands with each other, and I think the captain and coach, Georgia Adams and Charlotte Edwards, will be relieved that they've managed to get themselves over the line. A brilliant win for the Vipers, and we'll see at the result of the Sparks Thunder game to see whether the top 4 are confirmed, but it definitely puts them that little bit closer to finals day.
Certainly does. What a game. Let's hope tonight's game is half as good. And then we've had a great day. Hope you've enjoyed it. The hover cover is going on, which suggests there might be a bit of a shower before the next game. The next game starts here at 7 o'clock. As regards the table, the Vipers, there's no bonus point there, so they move on to 21 points with 8 matches played, 2 to go. And the Sparks, if they win, they'll be on 21 as well. The Thunder will then be on 15. Actually, Thunder could Thunder still? They can't.
No, because if they win with a bonus point, that'll only get them to 19.
Oh, is it 2 points for a win?
Yeah,
oh,
it's 4 points for a win.
Yeah, so the Thunder have got 15.
But they've got a game in hand. They've got one less game.
Oh, of course they have, yeah.
So they've only got 1 game remaining after this because their game yesterday was washed out. So that sort of helps the teams above them that game was washed out. Yeah. But it makes it a very interesting finish to this competition. And Dino was also presented her 50th cap today, I've just been told, by photographer Dave Oakes. Thank you for that information. So what a way to finish your 50th game in a Vipers shirt. You've made 64 not out to win today's game and get your team closer to finals day.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Charlotte Taylor. I'll be back, myself, Charlotte Taylor. I'm Kevin James, and we'll be back with you with commentary with Hampshire against Middlesex just before 7 o'clock.